Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
I invite our Vice Principal to deliver the presidential address. Kindly, I invite you, sir.
Respected Secretary of G.T.N. Arts College, Line Dr. K. Rathanam, our beloved Director, Engineer Durai Rathanam, Principal Dr. Balagurusamy, our Academic Advisor, Dr. Markandayan, Vice Principal Self-Supporting Programs, Dr. U. Natarajan, the Organizing Secretary of this 4-day FDP program, Sam Dansekar, various deans, heads, fellow teachers, Pan-India participants, and our honorable resource persons for this evening, Dr. Sayej Wajid, who is going to enlighten us on student support and progression, two very key areas on which I myself require a lot of clarification, and Dr. S. Ganapati, who was with us yesterday also, who would be talking about institutional values and best practices, and Dr. R. Swaminathan, who is going to give the valedictory address. Good afternoon to all of you. I'm very happy to share a few of my ideas regarding NAC and the accreditation process. The bill passed in Lok Sabha in 2020 that enables foreign universities to set up satellite campuses in India is really a cause for concern, because of the top 100 universities in the world, it is quite unfortunate that not even one is from India. So in this situation, when foreign universities start invading the Indian educational scenario, how would we be able to withstand? That is a serious question for concern. And we are very happy that we have NAC to ensure quality education in India. But whether we will be able to have small colleges and institutions in the days to come is also a very big question, because we are going to be in a very, very competitive environment wherein lots of things would matter. So what would happen to, I'm sorry to use this expression, small scale industries kind of institutions that we have in India, because in the past few years, we have seen mushroom growth of many institutions in many places across the country. Every small town has, say, about 5 or 6 colleges, and many engineering colleges are facing closure even as of now. So in this scenario, how could NAC help us? This is a very serious question that we all have in mind. And our academic advisor, Dr. Markandayan, in the past 2-3 days, we expressed his concern for quality. So quality is one thing that we are all struggling hard to establish, because education is a journey wherein teachers and students travel together, and educational institutions provide enough infrastructure and all background support for the teachers as well as the students to progress. And in one of the previous sessions, I was asking a question about syllabus, for which yesterday's resource person highlighted. So we have different kinds of syllabi in different sorts of places. So how far would we try to reach a kind of uniformity? This is also a very big question. And this accreditation process, I'm very happy that subjective elements have been reduced and objective elements have been increased. Because if you check the grades that the institutions have got, to my shock and surprise, small institutions have got A+, whereas big institutions have got A. institutions with big track record have got A, whereas institutions which are just coming up are given A+. And we come to know that NAC measures the performance of an institution or the level of institutions based on various parameters. And I'm happy that in the past 3 days, today is the ultimate 4th day, many resource persons have enhanced our understanding of the NAC procedures. I'm very happy about that. And today we have two eminent persons to enhance us further on two criteria, which are very, very crucial and which are to be understood from a broader perspective. So as I was telling in one of the previous sessions, we have three kinds of requirements. One is local requirement, the second one is national requirement, and the third one is global requirement. And we are preparing our students at what level? That also has to be borne in mind. And in the meantime, we have our new educational policy also. And we very soon will have to toe the line. We have to get into the mainstream. And one thing is education and intelligence are two different things. Our main objective is to enhance intelligence. So, are we going to measure the intelligence of our students with marks and grades, or are we going to have different kinds of assessment systems? That also is a point to ponder. A well-educated mind will have more questions than answers. And I'm very sure that all of our participants are full of questions. Only when we understand more, we will have more questions. Questions come only when there's more understanding and when there is more ignorance. At the middle level, we have no questions. So if we have more questions, that clearly indicates that our understanding is more. And NAC has laid down certain rules and parameters. And I am to request all of you to insist on 3 I's. They are improvisation, innovation, and improvement. Based on what we have to improve, we have to innovate, and we have to improvise on what we have. Instead of asking for more and more, let us try to build up, let us try to improvise, let us try to make more of what we have. And that would take us to great heights. And it is very, very obligatory, necessary that we as teachers will have to improve quality. Only when the teachers improve quality, the quality of the education would improve, institutions would improve, and the prospects of the students also improve. And in the past, we did not record whatever we did. But today, we have to record everything. Everything is recorded. And there is a positive as well as a negative aspect for this. George Orwell, a very popular writer in 1984, came out with a book titled 1984, and in that he talks about a big brother. There's a big brother who is watching everything that you do. So what I speak now is being watched, is being observed by hundreds of people, and it is getting recorded as well. So I have to be very cautious about what we speak and what I do. So in the classroom also, gone are the days when the teacher could speak whatever he wanted. Today, he has to stick to a syllabus. I do not know whether this is a positive or a negative aspect, but we have to keep a record of the work done. Everything is measured, everything is assessed. That is the condition under which we are laboring now. So NAC is a kind of a harness, is a kind of a hood that has been given to the horse. The horse cannot travel in any way that it wants. The horse has to travel only in the way the rider rides it. So that is the difference between the past and the present. So we have clear-cut rules, and we have to play the best within that framework. So with this kind of introductory remarks, I wish all of you a good sessions, wish all of you good sessions this afternoon. And I have a humble request to the guest speakers as well. I'm sorry if I'm a bit preposterous, but I request you to stick to the time limit. The first speaker always eats up into the time slot of the second speaker. So what happens is the program, which has to end up at 5 o'clock, goes on up to 6 o'clock. So my humble request to the guest speakers is to restrict themselves within the time slot allotted, because time is very precious. I do not know whether I am right to say this or not, but I just wanted to say this, so I have said it as an introductory remark. So with this, I wish all of you a good experience this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind and informative presidential address, sir. I welcome Dr. Vajit, sir, to present this criterion 5 for our staff members, sir. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sham. So can I proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at the outset, let me take this opportunity to thank the management of GTN Arts College, Dindigul. Special thanks to the principal.
Excuse me, sir. Please
Yes.
switch on your video, sir.
I think I would not be turning my video when I'm presenting.
Okay,
During
it's okay, sir.
lecture session, I would turn my video on again.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Proceed. Thank you, sir.
Just to avoid certain internet issues and all of that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. No problem. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for inviting me. So let me not take your time. So let's start straight away with the presentation. So as you already have introduced me that what I'm going to talk about. So today I'm going to be talking about criteria 5, which is student support and progression. So the session has already started. Like I think it's the 3rd day or 4th day today that you all have been having this seminar, and what has been dealt so far are the other criteria. Today I'm here with criteria 5. So there are 7 criteria that all of you are familiar with, and we call these 7 criteria as 7 pillars. Now each and every criteria is equally important, so collectively all the 7 criteria is what would take any higher education institutions to its greater height. So whatever the way you perform is what you present under these criteria, and based on what you present, the team is going to look at the same, whether it's qualitative, quantitative, and accordingly the marks are being graded. Okay. Now the criteria 1, all of you are familiar. It is curricular aspect. So when we offer a lot of programs to the students under the heads of a higher education institution, what matters is what you're offering to the students and what's the content in each of the curriculum. That matters a lot. So once you have designed your curriculum, you move on towards teaching, learning, and further evaluation of those. Okay. You also come up with how you are going to assess them, and finally the marks are going to be allotted. Now at the same time, it's required that whatever the curriculum that you have designed, which you're offering to the students, it has to be research based. So the criteria 3 talks about the research, innovation, and the extension. Here it is like any curriculum that we are offering, there has to be research inculcated in it. That is, the students have to take it up as research oriented programs, not simply it's going to be more of a lecture giving, and then students are going to assimilate that lecture and just memorize whatever is being taught. Every now and then it has to be presented to the students also in a more sort of a engagement, research engagement. So also research can be carried out in collaboration, that the students can carry out research, faculty can carry out research, collaborative research between the students and the faculty and their innovations, and also how are they reaching out to the society through the extension activities is what being covered under criteria 3. Now, when we say that we are offering a lot of programs, we have to also provide the required infrastructure and the learning resources. So to measure what all are there, the infrastructure and the learning resources. Hence, we have this criteria 4, where they're going to be looking at what infrastructure are you providing for the program that you all have been offering. Then we have criteria 5, which is student support and progression. So finally, any of the higher educational institution is being functional for the students. They are our main stakeholders. Now, once they have come onto the campus till the time of their exit, what is the support that you are providing them? It's not only that you support them till they are on the portals. Even after, you need to be mapping their progression. So that is something is what I'm going to be talking about today in student support and progression. And the next one is the governance, leadership, and the management. Leadership percolated at every function of our institutions. So how management is looking at passing on the information to all the stakeholders, and how each one of them are taking up their roles as a better leader, and how are they managing. So that is what we it's being covered in governance, leadership, and management. And the last one that we have here is institutional values and best practices. Now, again, there has to be certain uniqueness of an institution. There has to be certain best practices of institution. So how exactly is that being done is also of very important. Okay, so let me further move to what I'm talking about. So as I said that, I'm going to be talking to you all about the criteria 5, which is student support and progression. Now, under this criteria, what exactly are we looking? So as I said, we are offering higher education to students, and we have designed the program. Students looking at the program have registered for those, okay, and we have got them admitted. Now, after we have got them admitted, we have provided the required infrastructure and all of that. But what more is required for the students? It is the support that we need to be providing. So what exactly are we going to be doing it here? That is, they require certain assistance, because they have come to your institutions, might be from the 11th, 12th, or from the state board, or different places. Each one would have come from different regional background, cultural background, and all. And what is required here is we need to provide them necessary assistance, make them feel comfortable, make them feel at home, and as in when they have any sort of an issues and all, listen to them, guide them through. So that is the assistance that is required, which we need to be providing for them. And till the time they stay on the campus, try to make their experience more meaningful. Okay, so give all that you have told during the admissions, give all that you sort of promise them, that the facilities that you sort of offer. Try to make their existence on the campus much more meaningful. That's very important. Okay, and not only that, you cater to only the academic needs. We want a student to develop holistically. That is, it's not only academic per se, it has to be also extracurricular activities. We want to make them citizens of the country, of the globe here. So you need to ensure that they not only connect to the job that they are with, also to the society that they live in, and as in when there is a requirement, they need to raise to the occasion. So all of us are aware what traumatized conditions what's happening, and how should they take active part in situations of crisis and all. Then there is no point in education. So that is something that again they need to be looking at. And then students performance, you need to also be monitoring their performance. Like, only there has to be good mentorship, semester wise monitor, and as they graduate, monitor their performance and ensure that they are also being placed for what you have promised when they have started their education on your campus. And at the same time, promote higher education, that is students who have done fairly well, and try to inspire them, motivate them to take up higher education, because that is what matters for the growth of the country and the world subsequently. Okay, that is something that has to be done. And at the same time, be in touch. It's not after 3 years they're out of the campus, you just say bye bye and just forever. You need to be in touch with them, try to build the alumni profile and grow along with the alumni. You can also take their help from them. It can be financial, it can be non-financial, it can be any of such things. So try to explore more and more of their help. Okay, so under this student support and progression, there are 5 key indicators. First one is student support, second is student progression, student participation in activities, alumni engagement. Okay, now if you look at these 4 different things, yes, they have joined your higher education institution, the support that you're going to extend. As they are moving, you are going to be mapping their progression, and at the same time try to tell them that there are a lot of activities that the college organizes. There are a lot of activities which you can make them participate, state level, national level, international level, all those. Try to make them take part, and obviously they pass out, they become alumni of the institution, and try to engage them subsequently so that your present students are being benefited with their sort of an assistant. So here total marks for this criteria, student support and progression, is 100. For universities, this is a split up. Autonomous colleges, this is a split up. For UG and PG affiliated colleges, this is the split up. Okay, so this is the score that the students they can the colleges can get it through this particular criteria. Okay, now further moving on to student support. Okay, now under student support, as I said, okay, students come from different background, diversified background. Supporting their education is of prime importance. Okay, how can we support their education? It is there are a lot of students who might not be able to afford for their higher education. So hence there has to be a certain measures taken by the management to try to get a lot of these scholarships and the free ships to the students interest, and then try to provide as much as institution can do with a lot of scholarships from the government, non-governmental organizations. So make them aware of where all they can apply, and then subsequently you need to tell them to apply for such scholarships and the free ships. That is one thing that can be done. And when students join in for higher education, try to start within what is called as diagnostic assessment to know as to where a candidate stands. Based on that, there has to be certain courses conducted, what are called as the bridge courses, for them to bridge from where they are and where they can go. That bridging has to be done, because a lot of them might have weaker concepts in order to understand. So once you leave them there, what happens is the progression is going to be very bad. So it's right at the beginning, you need to do certain assessments, what are called as diagnostic assessments, assess the students, which is normally done through the mentors of the classes, and then try to come up with these bridge courses. So bridge them so that when you start the actual portions of the curriculum, they are all ready to scale up from that particular point. And also try to offer a lot of value added courses, because values is something that you need to be inculcating in the students the 3 years that they are going to be staying with you all. Okay, and at the same time have a lot of cells which would support the students, like guidance cell, it could be career guidance cells. Okay, they have come up with certain thoughts in mind. Try to listen to them and see what support they needed. Try to provide all sort of opportunities to them. Placement cells, as soon as they graduate, to put them into placement. Okay, grievance redressal cells, they might be going through a lot of issues, personal, or it could also be emotional, psychological. So there has to be a lot of these redressal cells in order to give that sort of support to the students. Welfare measures to support students. So you might have come across, for the last 1.5 years, we are stuck with this COVID, and so many parents have lost their jobs and all of that. So what is that, again, as a college can be helping those sort of students. So a lot of welfare measures has to be in sort of place. Okay, so that's the student support that has to be offered. Now, if now the question arises as to what we have been doing and what should be the data that we need to be submitting, then you have this questionnaire according to which you are going to do it. Okay, so it's not like, you look at the question paper before studying for that particular exam. So because when you look at the question paper, obviously you will say that, like, I don't know any of these questions. The reason is you have not well prepared. So when you are working as a higher education institution, it is good to look at all these questionnaires that are there in the NAC manual or in any of the other rankings and all. It is not sort of to impose that higher education institution has to be done, but collectively, when you do all of these activity, you see so much betterment in a student, so much betterment as an institution, that you are going to be performing well. So just get aware of what all should you be providing, and try to provide to those students, not for the sake of, like, ranking or any of the thing, but otherwise a student would require all of these when they come to the portals of any higher education institution. So what is that the data that they're asking here? Average percentage of students benefited by scholarships and free ships. So there are a lot of governmental scholarships available. There are a lot of non-governmental scholarships available. There are a lot of your own fellow friends who might want to provide some sort of an assistance for the education of the students. Try to look at all those available and try to provide scholarships and the free ships where the total tuition fee can be waived off, or a portion of the student fee can be waived off. So it all depends on how you want to do it. So basically, you are looking at the data, what students have been provided, that is the scholarship and the free ships. That's the data that has to be provided. Okay. Now, what the average percentage of students benefited by scholarship, free ships, etc. That is, how many students do you have, and of which how many of them have been benefited with scholarships and the free ship, is the data that you are going to be providing here. Now, capacity building and skill enhancement initiatives taken by the institution, including the soft skills. So when we talk about support to the students here, we need to conduct a lot of these capacity building programs or skill enhancement programs. Day to day, you're going to teach only some sort of theory or practicals and all of that, just because it's there in the curriculum. That is not enough for any of the students. Now, I might have done some work, but am I in a position to write that and communicate it to people? Am I in a position to present it before a larger audience? When the question comes, am I in a position to answer to the queries that would come? So, there has to be a lot of this sort of personality development, building up that has to happen in the institution, so that they become more aware of themselves. They try to start looking in them the leadership qualities in them, skills of how to managing time efficiently, how to look at problems that they're facing day-to-day life, how should they come up with a solution, keeping connected with the subject they are studying. So a lot of such skills has to be inculcated in the students. So organize a lot of programs for soft skill enhancement, their language. Okay, they might be studying in one particular language, because now we are talking about the reaching out locally, nationally, globally. That means they need to be good at more than one language for they to get to communicate whatever the thoughts they have, the ideas that they have, and all of that. So it's a lot of emphasis have to be given on the language and the communication skills too, and also life skills, because now these days you keep reading a lot of news and all of that. Emotionally or psychologically we get affected. So try to prepare students so that we are going to go through much more bad times possibly, but you need to try to teach students when you are suffering from a lot of these issues, how can you come out of it? Okay, so to keep yourself sort of physically fit, mentally fit, a lot of life skill training has to be given, like yoga, physical fitness, health and hygiene, a lot of information on the nutrition, all that has to also be provided. And at the same time, ICT and computing skills. Now we are in an era of ICT enabled technology. If we were not good at it, we would have perished. So all these things that are happening now, webinars and all, or no, most of for the last 1.5 year, roughly, our classes are happening online. So unless and until students are not well versed with this, it's not good. So it is required that all of these are being carried out in the on the campus. If it's not, you look at it and you see what best can be done for the same. Okay, and then average percentage of students benefited by guidance for competitive examinations, career counseling, and all of that. Okay, so have these cells, and it's not only having these cells on the paper, but functional. They should be active, and a lot of activities have to be conducted, and keep mapping those activities as to how many students were guided for these competitive exams, how many successfully completed or cleared those competitive exams, where are they present. All that assessment has to be done. And at the same time, any cell for that matter, whether it's career counseling or it is for competitive exams or even the other, you need to follow up what's being dealt through those programs. Okay, then the institution has a transparent mechanism for timely redressal of student grievance, including sexual harassment and ragging cases. Okay, so you need to have active cells for sexual harassment, ragging, uh, anti-ragging cell. Okay, so what is very important here is you need to have strict guidelines of whatever, how you are following it up, and there has to be a cell who are aware of the policies, okay, who also make aware that these sort of cells exist on the higher education institution. Let all stakeholders be aware of them, and when they go through some sort of such issues, how should they document the same, and then how would the cell attain to those sort of issues. All that has to be documented very importantly. Okay, and that's about key indicator 5.1, or that is the student support. Now let's talk about the student progression. Okay, so it's just something like I have sown a seed, and once I've sown a seed, it requires a lot of care. So when I have sown a seed, the care that would require, like I need to provide good amount of water, the environment has to be good, and then I can look for the seed to germinate and sort of flourish. So when I say student support, kids are more like these kids, and what you need to be providing is that good environment, good care. So obviously then you can think of germination of those seeds. Now once those seed germinates, that is the students, once you've provided them all the support, you will see how well are they progressing. Okay, so if you have given good care for a seed, that means it germinates and it grows faster, and it will also start giving you fruits. So here is the time for you to check as to what have you provided and how are they progressing, which you are going to be tapping it again. Okay, now student progression, that is towards higher studies and employment. So how do you measure if a student has progressed? Obviously, a student who would have graduated for a particular batch, if he gets placed, it's sort of measure to tell you that yes, so many students came out and they have got jobs. One. Second, they've gone to higher education, so they have done so well in the graduation, they've acquired a lot of basic concepts and all, which they want to further delve into deeper understanding the need. They want to go for higher education. So what is the number that has gone for higher education? So the number of students who have progressed and the number towards higher education and the employment would give you an answer as to how well the institution is doing. Okay, and at the same time also ensure that students take up these competitive exams. It's not only like a company job that they need to be getting. We need also a lot of IS officers, IPS officers. We need a lot of political leaders who are going to be working towards the country and the globe. So that means they have to also take up a lot of other competitive exams. It could be for their higher education. It could be also for a lot of these, civil services. A lot of exams are there. You need to have cells again. Make them students aware that these are all the exams. Once you take up, this is where you can see yourselves. Okay, a lot of that thing also has to be provided for the students. Okay, now what is that the question that they have asked, and what is the data that you're going to be submitting here? Yes, average percentage of placement of outgoing students during the last 5 years. That is, 1,000 students joined, of which 700 students successfully completed 3 years program without any sort of backlogs. Out of that 700 students, how many students have got placed is what they are going to be looking at. So you need to provide the data, which company, what is the package, who's the employer, their contact details, all the data has to be provided. Very important. Anything that we do, it has to be documented. Okay, then average percentage of students progressing to higher education. Okay, so undergrad students moving towards post-graduation for MPhil or a PhD, or if you have MPhil students going for PhD, and PhD students for postdoctoral fellowship. Okay, so all this data again has to be ensure that you are going to be providing this particular data. So that's going to be a good measure to for understanding the student progression, how many students have gone for placement and how many of them have gone for higher education. Okay, then how many students have also qualified these competitive exams like JAM, CLAT, GATE, GMAT, CAT, GRE, TOEFL, civil services, state government exams, all that. So you need to have a database of how many students have taken up those and how many of them have cleared these exams. So that is the data that you are going to be providing here. So number of students qualifying here and number of students appearing is what you are going to be doing. Okay, so there is a Excel sheet which you need to be filling it up with supporting documents. Okay, and the third key indicator here is student participation in activities. Okay, so you might be conducting a lot of activities on campus. Okay, it could be curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular. It could be any of those. There has to be activities that you need to be conducting. There are activities which other universities, other state level, national level, international level must have been organized. You are sending your students and they coming with a lot of success back to the college is all has to be measured. So that means you have to promote a lot of the student participation and student activities. Okay, so promotional of institutional inclusive practices. Okay, again, now when I say student curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular, it can also to reach out to people. Okay, for social justice, it could be social responsibility, and also for good citizenry among the students. Okay, that is also it is very important. It's not only keep it academic per se. At the same time, promotes active participation of the students in social, cultural, and leisure activities. Okay, try to conduct a lot of these activities so that they take part in. And because I spoke about holistic development in a student, unless and until students don't take part in all of these activities, you don't see holistic development in a student. Okay, so it's required, and you try to encourage students in participating in all possible activities. It could be skill based, it could be value based, it could be any of such activities which you are going to be organizing, or wherever they are being organized, send your students so that they take part and then learn through those activities. Very important. Okay, so how are we going to measure it again? Number of awards or medals for outstanding performance in sports, cultural activities at university, state, national, international. So that is something that there is a data of this that is required. That means how much work you'll have to do from your side to send the students out to take part in a university level or a state level or national level, international level, and that is the data that you are going to be submitting here. Okay, then institution facilitates student representation and engagement in various administrative, co-curricular, extracurricular activities. Okay, so when we talk about students as a prime stakeholder, we need to be in a position to listen to them. We need to be in a position to give them the position for them to carry out the activities, and so that they can connect well the education with to the students and amongst the students. Okay, unless and until you don't get the students involved, the system is not going to be functional in a better way. We can't be dictators of only dictating the rules to them. So you need to make them understand why are such rules present, so that they need to be a active. They need to play a active, important in any of the activities, be it administrative, co-curricular, or extracurricular. Okay, so there has to be student council, student representation in various bodies. Okay, we talk about if you're an autonomous institution, in your BOS you'll have an alumni student being present. You can also have a regular student also in case there's a requirement. IQAC, there are requirement of students representation there. Sports, culturals, and also most of these cells require representation from the students, so that because they know what's required, they would present so that we can work on the same. Okay, so this is more of a descriptive. You are going to be writing as to how well have you included students in the functioning of the higher education institution. That's something that you need to be answering here. Okay, then average number of sports and cultural events or competitions in which students of the institutions participated during the last 5 years. Okay, so you have a clear list of students who were part of sports activities, cultural activities, what competitions they attended, what prizes they have won, are they university level or a state level, national level, all that data has to be provided here. And finally, we talk about alumni engagement. Okay, so alumni engagement, yes, students who have passed out of the portals of the institution, it might take a few years for them. It's not immediately they might start helping you, because they might have to get into a job, and then later, depending on how they are placed, they might be of some help back to the uh, parent institution, to their alma mater. Okay, as I said, it can be financial, it can be non-financial. There could be a lot of students who are very good at sort of leadership skills and all. You can invite them back again to train your current students for inculcating in them those values, skills, and all that. That also can be done. Okay. And at the same time, those who are flourishing well in whatever their domains, they can come back and engage with you, with the alma mater, and then see what sort of support that the alumni can be engaged. Okay, so you need to have an active alumni association, very important, a registered one. And then alumni contribution is what comes, has to be recorded. So it can be to do with anything. It can be resource mobilization in terms of financial, or it can also be non-financial. Okay, so the data that the NAC is looking for, there is a registered alumni association that contributes significantly to the development of the institution through financial and or other support services. Its description, again, you need to be providing all the support that alumni has been extending the institution. So that data with the supporting documents is what you need to be providing. If there is any contribution that you have received from the alumni, what is the amount that you have received is what you are going to be presenting it here again. Okay, now so when we talk about the student supporting progression, most of you are also might be taking part in a lot of rankings like NIRF ranking, which is National Institutional of Ranking Framework, or you might also have been taking part in other rankings like India Today, Week ranking, and all. So most of these places, they talk about the students support and student progression data. Okay, so it becomes of prime importance for any of the higher education institution to maintain a lot of this data, try to do analysis of this, and then see how well can you ensure that students are really progressing. So what I thought, let me also share a few practices. No, it's up to you to say whether they are best practices or not, but I thought I would just share a few practices practices in order to augment this student support and progression. Okay. Now, one is what can be done is try to identify all the scholarships and the free ships that are available, okay, all through the country, and try to provide this to the students, share them the links, give them the protocol, how should they follow it up, so that, more and more students can benefit with these sort of scholarships and the free ships. That is one thing that can be done. Try to offer plethora of capacity and skill enhancement programs. You know best which region you belong to, what sort of students you would be getting. According to them, what do they lack in, what is that they needed for them to become good competitors for the others within the country and the globe. You can design those capacity and skill enhancement programs for your students. Nothing is going to be unique for all the students here. So different students would require different skill enhancement of the capacity building program. So you understand the student crowd that you get it and what sort of that support that you need to be offering them. Then ensure that you have a strong placement cell, a good placement officer with good contacts, with good collaborations and all, so that more and more students are getting placed. Marketing skills have to be excellent when we talk about placement here. Okay. And a career guidance. So right from the year that they have joined, know with what aims and ambitions a student have joined the higher education institution. To keep that sort of fire in them, you need to be giving them a lot of support, and career guidance cell can also do this mapping of them as they sort of progress. Okay. And then mentoring, strong mentoring is very, very crucial or important. Every class to be mentored by faculty who would handhold from the day that they have joined till they move out of the portals of the higher education institution. So a mentor can provide all sort of psychological, emotional support, at the same time academic and the other support as well. Okay. So that is something very important that you need to be doing. Okay. Career counseling is, as I told you, and then you need to be also conducting a lot of value-based programs. Okay. So a lot of activities, it could be outreach activities, extension activities and all, where student is going to get connected to the society, because unless and until the student does not practice what he or she learns on the campus, it might they might not connect it. So you need to also try to build up a lot of such programs there, outreach activities to reach out to the people who are really deserving the help. Okay. So now we see, like in a college, a lot of students are become corona warriors. They have gone to the graveyards helping the dead bodies who are succumbed to COVID for their crematorium or a burial, providing them the food and all of that. They are not afraid of their self, though they have got vaccinated and all of that. But a lot of students are reaching out. This is what education is all about. Okay. So that is something that students should be inculcated in. Then strong student council. Yes, you need to have a strong body, not just for the sake of popularity. One becomes a president and then nothing happens through it. You need to ensure that active student council is there who represent the college and try to help students. So like our student council also, they raise a lot of funds when a lot of students could not afford to pay their even the nominal fee and all of that. They raised a lot of funds as a student council to support the others who could not afford to pay their basic fee and all of that. Okay. Cultural committee again has to be there, because you need a lot of students would come with talents and all of that. You'll have to hone their talent. So you try to provide that atmosphere. Sports committee again has to be functional, active. Association activity, every department can have associations. They can try to bring in a lot of, because unless and until students don't take part actively in any of such activities, you cannot expect them holistically grow. So there has to be active activities going on through all of these forums. And then strong alumni association, that's another important requirement. Okay. So unless and until you don't have it, and you don't project to the current students as to what your alumni are supporting with, they don't become an active alumni in the near future. So you need to have a strong alumni association. Okay, so this is all that I just wanted to share under this criteria: student support and progression. So extend as much as help that you all can provide to the students. Only then you can expect good progression among the students. Good progression is a positive trait for a higher education institution. Your brand name would go, obviously, telling that the college or a university, so and so, you have got good placements, good citizens are coming out of this sort of higher education institutions. So I would like to conclude with the quote by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam: "Excellence in thinking and action is the foundation for any mission. Excellence is not by accident, it's a process where an individual or organization or nation continuously strives to better oneself." So we need to keep trying the best to provide to the students so that the best would come out of the students, for which the country and the globe would thrive. Okay, so thank you all. If you have any questions, I would be happy to take your questions.
Sir,
Hello.
good afternoon. Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Sir, I have a question. Like, since we do consider, with respect to the alumni, like where they have placed all those positions when we mention it, is that even we need to mention if at all they have a higher qualification before they enter our institution, will that be counted, or after going out of our institution, whatever they pursue their higher education, we need to mention here? Because ours is a B.Ed college. So sometimes it so happens that they'll be having their master's degree and then they enroll, for B.Ed. So which need to be considered?
I don't know if you were taking part in NRF and all of that. So there, how many, what sort of students would come to your institutions matters a lot, So students from top universities and all of that, if they are coming to your college and all, it's sort of considered as a good measure, telling that, it's a brand, because of which there are so many good students from top most colleges are coming. So it's a good sign for it. So if you're tapping that and you're making a note of it and presenting it, it's going to be excellent when you do it. It's going to be good if you are trying to map all that and then present that data to NAC.
Professor Syed. Hello.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Syed. Hello.
Yes.
I would like to talk with you now. I am Dr. Wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute, sir. I would like to interact with you, Mr. Syed.
Yes, sir.
So you are given a very excellent and very precise student support and progression presentation. But only one aspect.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned about the scholarship and free ship.
Yes, sir.
Either by the government or by the management. But in the matrix, you are not mentioned anything about management. In the matrix, what you are shown, the question is straight away, it is only for government scholarships and any free scholarship by the government. There is no place for management. Just to go back to that slide and see that.
Yes. Yeah, number of students benefited by scholarship and free ship provided by government. It's here. Now, in the second, if you could see, provided by institution or non-government agencies.
Scholarship by the no, there is no place for institution or.
5.1.2 average percentage of students benefited by scholarship, free ship provided by the institution or non-government agencies. So one is the government and the other one is institution and the non-government.
So, but it has not been specifically mentioned. That's what I'm asking. Because there is no place for contribution by the management.
Sir, free ship.
Can you see
free ship itself?
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, in the same question, I have a doubt. Ours is a government institution and our Tamilnadu government is giving scholarship to all the students. So in this case, by the institution, what we can provide. So the same thing, because the scholarship is provided by the government for government colleges.
Then you can look for non-governmental agencies. If the institution, because it's already government run, then you can also tap a lot of these non-government agencies, and that data can be provided here.
Syed sir, adding to this is like
Yes.
scholarships and free ships. When you're talking about this, both the terms, scholarship is what meant by the government and other NGOs or non-governmental organization or from an external party. That is what scholarship is all about. When you're talking about free ships, it is what the organization, that is the institution itself, is opening or admitting the students with free of seats. That will come under free ships. Am I correct, sir?
When you say free ship could be a waiving of the admission fee. Yes, correct. So it can be 100%. It can be also some percentage wise free ship can be given.
BCom, MCA, BCom CA department, someone is creating some noise, it seems. GTN.
So when you say scholarship, there are a lot of scholarships. I go for higher education, there is some scholarship. Of the total fee, some percentage scholarship can be given. 100% it can be 70% and all. So total, whatever fee that comes, of which if certain percentage of total consolidated money is being sponsored to the education, then that is what is called as scholarship. When you talk about free ship, it is the tuition fee for a program which is being waived off. Okay, other than tuition fee, there might also be sort of other fee which is there. So that fee has to be paid by the student. Only the tuition fee is going to be waived off when we talk about the free ship. Yeah.
The thing is, there are certain minority institutions when it is in language or in terms of Christian minority religious part. So those institutions, they have some funds from their minority communities. So in which cadre we want to bring that one, sir? Because for nearly, if it is 100 students, almost 10 to 15 or even 25 students will be given free seats to do their to pursue their programs. Either it is an UG or a PG. So either we want to put it in scholarship category or in free ships category. In such case,
no, scholarship is totally different from free ship. So if the governmental thing it's coming of the waiving of the tuition fee for the programs, then you categorize that as the free ship. Scholarship, it is based mainly it's also based on the merit. Okay, it's not free ship is based on the economical background of a student. Whereas scholarship is based on the merit. A student has been doing pretty well in a particular program. At the same time, yes, you might also look at the background also, but the scholarship is given for someone who is outperforming, and then that student needs sort of help, or not necessarily they are from the weaker section, but still you can provide scholarship for them. Whereas free ship is basically for students who are under privileged, who requires financial assistance and all of that. For them, you keep that in mind. Yeah, that's a difference.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. One more question for me is, sir, we have in criterion 1, when you're talking about curricular aspects, we are affiliated with Mananam Sundarnar University, Tirunelveli, sir. So we actually we are an affiliated institution. So we'll follow this curriculum, whichever is formulated by the or constituted by the university. But what in our institution we are doing is, apart from that regular program, we give some certificate courses. So certificate courses is one such thing which we are bringing it in under criterion 1. And you have also mentioned value-added courses. So how come we can differentiate the certificate courses from value-added courses, sir?
There are two things. One is value-based and value-added.
Value-added.
So what I'm talking about here is more of value-based courses. Or value added, even if you say value added also, it's fair enough. Yeah. Now, sorry, could you just can I get the question back again?
In criterion 1, we do offer some certificate courses aligning with the academic part, aligning with their program. Say, for example, if I am a faculty of a business administration department and I align my students along with an entrepreneurship, so I do offer some certificate courses on entrepreneurship along with their undergraduate program.
Correct.
But when you're talking about the student development, you have mentioned one thing is you can also offer some value-added courses for the students. So what way we can differentiate this value-added program as well as the certificate program?
A certificate program can become value-added if that's being aligned to certain skills that are being provided, if they are augmenting what was required. So a certificate course can become a value-added course in that case. For example, I offer one certificate course in engineering, and any life science students who take up this, they might not be studying this in the regular thing. If they take this up and their basic skills of being acquired, or certain advanced skills are being acquired to this, now this program would become a value added for that. So any certificate program can become a value added if that certificate program is giving value for their program which a student have taken admission for.
Sir, if you don't mind, shall I add one thing, sir?
Yes, yes.
According to my knowledge, sir, simply I am sharing my views, sir. Sir, a student is studying BCom. If he studies the tally parallelly in the evening, we may consider as a value added. He is going to get a BCom. In addition to that, he is going to add his value. So that may be. So likewise, if a person completed the BCom and if he goes for a PGDC or after MCom, he goes for a PGDC certificate course, because it is a separate certificate. With that, he is going to acquire some post. Can we consider such a way, sir? Thank you, sir.
Can you consider
PGDCA as a certificate
Sorry, I didn't
course?
Get
PGDCA as a certificate course. The tally as a value-added course. It is adding the value in addition to that BCom course.
From Sarojini CMs.
Yeah, it is all up to us how where are we categorizing this, sir. So if you are showing them as a value added, tally as a value added, yes, it becomes a value added. Any other certificate course also, if it is providing value to the basic degree, obviously you can still consider that also as value added.
Okay, thank you.
Not necessary that it has to be bifurcated as certificate, or it's a course. If that's giving value, it becomes a value-added course.
It depends upon the situation. Okay, sir.
Correct.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I'm calling from Pondicherry, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Regarding that free ship, nowadays, if you see that the examination fees comes around 2,000, 3,000 rupees. Suppose if the department is providing economically poor student paying their examination fee, can it be considered as a free ship?
No. When you have this at whatever the fee receipt, very clearly, it's written the admission fee. Only that admission fee is waived off. If that's being paid by whoever, then only it is considered as free ship. The other fees, if you pay, it doesn't come under free ship.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
yes.
In best practices, you have mentioned about the student council, and you have added the word strong student council. Strong student council. What do you mean by that? Strong student council. In best practice.
Strong. Yes. When you say strong student council, it is like
many colleges have their own students council, but a strong students council. Do you mean to say that the elections to be conducted for the students democratically and the students to be elected?
That's going to be excellent, because they learn the democratic or a secular way of being a part of a system. So it's not just.
But it is not made on the part of the institution as obligatory by the government. So no colleges are now ready to conduct elections for the students and to show their way of democratic path. So when it is not made as obligatory on the part of the institution, how the institution to conduct? What is the yardstick to give the instruction to the institution?
So it all depends on how well the institution is functioning. Keeping that in mind, what is conducive for you to conduct such sort of elections, you could do it. It should not be corrupt, whatever the system and all. Suddenly, if I have some favoritism towards a student, I would say that student becomes the president. Now that might bring in a lot of uneasiness among the students. So when I say election, you can conduct it in any way, but there shouldn't be any sort of unfair means in carrying out the elections. You need to announce well in advance that we are going to form a student council. There requires a president, a secretary, and all of that. And these are the criteria for you to become a president and all of that. So then you try to get the nominations for the same, and by fair means get the nominees, let them go out, reach out to people and all, tell them about what they can do once they do good, just like normally how the elections happens. And fair means you conduct the elections, and then that is what you're conducting the elections. It's not like when I say they would also learn the process of how exactly a person becomes a leader through what ways. That is what I meant. And I say strong student council again, a strong student council who have a say in the administrative matters or the functioning of a higher education institution. So when you say academic council is there, a student is involved. It might be a sort of a board of studies meeting, or it could also be like say IQAC. So in our college, IQAC, we have IQAC representatives. So every class there is one representative who would be part of the IQAC team. They would come up and tell us like if there's something is not okay, examination system is not okay, or validation system is not okay, or teaching is not okay, and all. They have every right to come and tell us that this is something which is not happening correctly. We try to correct the same thing. So when I say strong, it is what I meant strong.
You are right, sir. But the thing is, the government is not making the institutions compulsory to conduct the elections and make the students' participation in the decisions. And the government is not. The government is simply closing its eyes.
Okay, sir has something to say.
Yes. May I speak?
And I have.
May I speak? May I speak?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, doctor. Yes, Dr. Chakravarti, sir. You could go ahead.
What is in my perception? What is important is not the way in which the council is formed, but the way in which the council functions.
Yeah.
That is more important, I perceive.
Sure.
That is more important, I suppose.
Sure.
As Wajid rightly pointed out, the council should come forward to take active steps regarding the development of education and infrastructure in the college, in the sense that Dr. Wajid was right in pointing out one thing. He said, the student council can identify students who are not able to pay fees. This is one thing. This is just one thing. And the student council can collectively, this collectively can help these poor students to get over that financial constraint. And as Dr. Wajid rightly pointed out, student council can actively participate in bringing to the notice of the principal or to the administration about a few lapses, whether it is regarding the syllabus, or whether it is regarding the teaching learning process, or whether it is regarding the syllabus or whatever it is. The student council can play a very proactive role in building up the image of the institution and in the education process. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
I'm so sorry to say that I have to leave right now because I have a meeting. At 3 it was scheduled. I had informed Sam Shankar to wind up the session by 3. Hopefully, any questions you could mail it to me. I can also answer them and send it across to you. So sorry for saying this at this point. I had conveyed this to the convener.
Kindly put your mail ID, please.
On behalf of GTN Arts College, I thank you, sir. The sessions are very informative and enthusiastic to us. Kindly accept our sincere thanks, sir. Thank you for, sir.
My mail ID, I think it's there on the cover slide here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I welcome next resource person, Dr. S. Ganapathy.
Okay, so thank you all. I would leave. I would share my mail ID through the speaker. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Wajid. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I invite Bindu ma'am to invite our speaker, Dr. S. Ganapathy sir.
Good afternoon to all. On behalf of our college management, it gives me great privilege to introduce our guest of honor and eminent speaker to all. Once again, Dr. S. Ganapathy sir. He has completed PhD under the guideship of Dr. Shaktivel Murugan sir, and he has more than 15 years of teaching experience, and he received Best Academician Award at the Guru Nanak College, and also he has completed employed 3 Kaizen projects and process improvement at Ford Motor Company, and he also received Best Employee Award at Ford Motor Company, and he has more than 10 Scopus publications. He has also attended more than 15 papers and various international conferences, and he also published more than 10 articles in UGC listed journals. And his main areas of expertise is SNAC accreditation process. On behalf of our management, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction, and again a very good afternoon. So yesterday, thanks. It was a very nice session yesterday, and today again morning there is Dr. Syed Wahid. He has given a very good note on the criterion 5. So I am here to take you through on criterion 7. Which is nothing but institutional values and best practices. So, am I audible, right, sir? Sir, am I audible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So, out of 6 criteria, I think this is one to be the final one. So, this is again a very important part when it comes for an institution. Again. Because you know, like for this criterion 7, the NAC is giving 100 points out of 1,000. 100 goes to this criteria 7, and it is even a little bit easy for the institution to get 100 out of 100 if they follow certain few mechanism to get it 100. Very easy. So what is NAC? What is what they are expecting out of this institution values and best practices is they focus mainly on what is the environmental consciousness and sustainability of an institution, of a college or a university. How they are giving preference for this gender equality and the professional ethics need to be followed. So I have given 3 important parts. One is gender equality. The second one is environmental consciousness and sustainability. And again, very important to inculcate the professional ethics among the faculty, not only faculty, but also the all fields, that is for teaching or non-teaching, or even when it comes for a student's perspective too. So you have to, it's an institutional effort to bring in a professional mannerism among everyone in the institution. And the next important part is the best practices. So again, it is a very important part. When it comes for a best practices, I would suggest it should be an unique best practices. Instead of, so when it comes for best practices, I'll just explain because in this category, there are 3 key indicators out there, like 7.1, 2, and 3. Just 3 categories, but in 7.1, there are somewhere around some 11 metrics out there, which carries 50 marks. Best practices where you can score 30 points. So that is very important when it comes for institution. That brings a very good branding for an institution. So institutional distinctiveness, again, it carries 20 points. So the last 2 best practices and institutional distinctiveness seems to be very important because that brings a reputation or a branding for an institution. You should be unique when you follow the practices, when you are following. Okay, I'll move on to the first one is 7.1, institutional values and best practices, which carries 50 points. So the first point when I discussing the intro part, where the first point itself where you can see it carries 5 points for what are all the measures that the college has taken for the promotion of gender equality. So all the three genders, this is qualitative in nature, where at the top of the screen where you can see Q1N, which represents the qualitative in nature, where you have to give a descriptive part, where you have to write around 500 words, and if along with the supporting documents. So what kind of like safety measures that you're given for exclusively for the women employees and students of an institution? Are you given with the safety and security? Like safety, what is the safety inside the campus? Whether do you have a CCTV cameras? Whether do you have a counseling session for the students by the trained counselors? That is very important. And whether do you have a common room? And certain institutions, like very big institutions, universities, they will have this daycare center too. So all such things you can write whatever the measures that you have initiated for this gender equity, and even you can organize a program on the certain colleges. They have organized even a conference on this gender equity program. I think most of you have you would have reached this invitation from a different colleges. By considering this 7.1.1, some of the colleges, they have started organizing seminars and a conference on this topic. So this is qualitative in nature, and next one is again the same Q7.1.2. The institution has facilities for alternate sources of energy and energy conservation measures. What is generally in criteria 7, all other criteria starting from criteria 1 to 6, what do you have? You have a data template which is available in the NAC manual, NAC that autonomous or university or affiliated colleges manual. You have that data template will be there. But for this 7th criteria, you don't have a data template which is available in the manuals. Only what you are supposed to do, you have to click on the button, that is in the checkbox will be available. See here, I have highlighted right in italics words where you can see solar energy, biogas plant, leading to the grid, sensor-based energy conservation, use of LED bulbs, power efficient equipments. Against this point, you have a checkbox. Whether I'm in my institution, whether do I have a solar energy? If you have, you can opt for it. So out of 5, how many points there is alternate source of energy that you are having in your institution, you have to tell them. All the above 5 or any 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or none of the above. So in all the part apart from criteria 7, in each and every metrics in 7.1, that is institutional values and social responsibilities, where you have qualitative in nature, and the next one is QNM represents only you have to, it's a kind of a choose the best answer. But that choose the best answer, you have to give only the authenticated information. If you have a solar panel in your institution, you have to show the bill, what you from where you have procured that equipment, and you have to take a geotag photograph, and that has to be enclosed along with this 7.1.2. So the alternate source of energy is again when it comes for the 7th criteria, the management involvement is very huge, because when you go for a solar panel, again, it's not cheaper in India. It's a very costly, and the management support the the institution. They have to provide enough fund for this 7.1.2, not only for 7.12, but for this criteria 7, because the next upcoming metrics where we are going to see, there are a lot of things where management support is involved, a lot of financial aspect that they have to spend on it. So biogas plant is there, and you can convert your electricity into windmills, and even plastic can be converted into a petrol. So all such things need to be done here. So alternate source, and the same again very important. This all comes under the social responsibility of an institution. They have to follow. And this one is 7.1.3. This is qualitative in nature, where you have to give a description. What kind of like degradable or non-gradable waste? What you're doing with that? Whether are you doing anything with that? Yes or no? If it is yes, there are all points are given here, like solid waste management. So when it comes for a solid waste management, where you can segregate your solid waste by paper, glass segregation, plastics can be segregated, and metal can be segregated. When it's similarly liquid waste management, what you're doing with liquid waste management, biomedical, e-waste, like what you're doing with your electronic wastage gadgets, like your computers, your like tube lights, fans, or other electrical equipments, and your hazardous chemicals, radioactive waste management. So when it comes for, I can take an example of what we follow in our institution, like for this paper waste, because in institution, education institution, more number of papers are getting wasted. What we do is we had a tie-up with ITC. ITC, what they are doing, they collect the waste papers every month, or every quarter, or every 6 months. It's up to you to decide. So you can have a MOU with that, and that itself a credit for the institution. So like paper segregation, similarly for each and every part where you can have a tie-up with any of the outsiders, vendors, where you can have a MOU, and that itself gives a credit for the institution. So degradable and non-degradable, again, like you have to segregate. It again, it's very important. This has to be done by the entire team, not by the like the housekeeping or something. It's even you can assign this for students as well. Like you can take an active part of a lot of clubs out there, like environmental club or there. You can get the support from them, and they will do wonders than us. Students have got a lot of ideas. They do a lot of wonders. And this is 7.1.3. And next one is again very important part is water conservation. I think in all our residents, the government has insisted in Tamil Nadu. I think I'm not very sure about other part of India. In Tamil Nadu, I think last 10 years, the government has insisted to go for rainwater harvesting. So rainwater harvesting is very much mandatory for residents, and as well as for the industry or education institution too. So here again, this is a checkbox. You have to show whether do you have all the 5, or I have only 4, 3, 2, 1. Rainwater harvesting, borewell, open well recharge, construction of tanks and bunds, wastewater recycling, maintenance of water bodies and distribution system in the campus. So you have to tell to the NAC that whether do you have all the 5 or do you have 4. If you have all the 5, all the 4, or 3, or 2, 1, you have to you have to attach the supporting document along with this metrics. That is very important. So I can take an example of rainwater harvesting. So you have to show what is the like layout, how the water is coming, where, how it is getting, where it got stagnated. So all such things, where is the sump and everything, that you have to show it in a layout kind of thing. So each and every part where you can have a proper plan, and it should be properly geotagged photo. That is again a very important part. Like certain part where the DVV partner will get clarification after submitting your SSR. The next 1 month, the DVV partner, data validation verification partner, will check out all your metrics, and they will come up with clarification. They will take some samples. We need this and that. So again, you have to attach it, supporting document. So you should not show any fake information. You should not show any fake information. So that is very important. And it's a responsibility of the institution to show only what you have. So if you shown any wrong information or fake information which comes as a negative point for your institution, it may affect your grading system too. So whatever you have, you can show it in proof, that is your geotag photo and all your supporting document. Like all your bills, because here accounting part is very important. Whatever you procure, you just in the name of the college, and it should show a detailed bill, that is for what it has been purchased, everything to be in a properly recorded by the accounting department, and they should show in your income and expenditure and your in financial statement or balance sheet. You should mention, and that is the supporting document as well for us. Okay, so it should be properly audited too. Okay, so this is 7.1.4 where you have 4 points, and 7.1.5 which is comes again greenering the campus. So 4 points for this category. So green campus initiatives, again here you have 5 points out there. Restricted entry of automobiles, battery powered vehicles, pedestrian friendly pathways, ban on use of the plastics, landscaping with trees and plants. Whether do you have all the 5 in your campus? If you say yes, you have to give the supporting documents. See, in our college, not only in our college, there are certain institutions where they won't allow students and faculty members vehicle inside the campus. In our institution, SA College of Arts and Science, we will not allow the vehicles inside the campus. The students have to commute with our college bus, or they can come by walk or government bus or by bicycle. So the entry, restricted entry of automobile is, you can ban it because for your environmental protection.
Sir,
yes, sir.
How can we increase the alumni society or alumni associations, and what is the route to this program? I am Dr. C.H. Anjanelu, Vice Principal, Kavita Memorial Degree College, Khammam.
So I didn't get your point, sir. How far alumni?
Alumni association increase, and some other what you are express so many points about this college activities and something, and just a TOEFL and CAT.
Sir, we will have the discussion in later, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We will have the discussion later. Please give platform for the resource person, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'll come up during the question and answer session. Currently, I'm taking through on 7th criteria, sir. Okay, just listen so that at the end of the session, we can have a healthy discussion. So Green Campus Initiative. So entry, there are institutions like, even I can mention the Satyabama University in Chennai. They will not allow teachers or faculty or students vehicle inside the campus. So there are more institutions, there are certain institutions they will not allow. And so that you should have a proper manual. That is where when my previous presentation in 3rd criteria, and now I'm just insisting on the management, on the IQAC coordinators, directors, where you can have a manuals to show as a proof policy document. So you should mention it over there. That is, even we are going to discuss on code of conduct, where you can mention it over there. Students' vehicles are strictly not allowed inside the campus. That itself is a proof for the NAC, where we have disclosed in the students' code of conduct policy. So battery powered vehicles, pedestrian friendly pathways, and again, very important, certain institution, they doesn't have this pedestrian friendly pathways. When you go for any industries, like I can take an example of manufacturing units. I think manufacturing units, where you get inside the manufacturing unit or inside the factory, you'll be having pathways. You have to supposed to walk only during, that is the pathway which is allocated, where you have to walk only that area alone. You cannot roam here and there. Wherever like you should not cross anywhere, because you should have there will be having a proper zebra crossing will be there inside the factory or even inside the manufacturing units. So, and plastics again, it's really very tough, and I'm not very sure how we are going to eliminate this plastic. That is really very tough task, but we can do it. And landscaping with trees and greenery campus, I think that has to be followed. Even the college which was started now, or very no, like 50 years or 100, 25 years, 50 years college, definitely they should have a very good atmosphere, greenery campus inside the campus. So again, the policy document they are talking about, and you should have a proper geotag photo to be taken up, and it has to be uploaded in the SSR report. And this is again, you have to give it as kind of choose the best answer, like quality audits on environment, like green audit, energy audit, environmental audit, clean and green campus recognitions awards beyond the campus environmental promotion activities. So like academic audit, I think you all be experienced persons here. I think every 6 months, the academic audit. So similar to this academic audit, you should also frame a policy for your environmental consciousness audit, that is quality audit on environmental consciousness. That brings a social responsibility among the institution, if comes to the institution, definitely for the students as well. Because when we talk on extension activities in criterion 3, how we are inculcating the social responsibility for the students. Similarly, the institution should also have a responsibility on these aspects, like green audit, your energy audit, whatever that we have discussed earlier from 7.1.1 till 7.7, 1.5. So green audit and your energy audit, your environmental audit, so the degradable, like recyclable, how we are doing it, what is the policy? And it should be audited by the external person, not by the internal. You can have an internal audit, like how you are having an internal academic audit. Similarly, you can have an audit for internal audit and as well as the external audit, and proper action plan. Say suppose I'm going for a NAC accreditation process. In your first year, what is the audit comments given? And what is my action taken report? Am I accomplished it or not? Whether am I fulfilled in my upcoming, the next audit? You should mention, even like NAC, they will be giving, suggestions, and they will give us findings and suggestions of about an institution before giving the rating. So what is your action plan on the NAC comment on your institution? You should have a proper action plan. Similarly, for this quality audit on green, energy, environmental, and green and environmental audit, what is your action taken report? And clean and green campus recognition award, I think some of the institution, I'm not very sure the name of the institution, I think it got awarded. Certain institution are getting this award. And beyond the campus environmental promotional activities. And apart from your campus, outside your campus, what you're doing with the support of NSS, with the support of environmental club, with the support of nature's lovers club. Certain colleges, they have a nature lovers club also. So what they are doing, not only inside the campus, but also they can go outside your neighborhood communities. What you're doing, like a tree plantation, but very important, tree plantation at one day you can do 100 plants or 500 plants, but that maintenance is very important. You have to insist the students to maintain every day watering the plant. That is very important part. You should not leave, you should not tree plantation done on the day, you can take a snapshot. That is not at all sufficient. It's only the social responsibility and individual social responsibility, and the NSS or value nature lovers club or different names they will have. So they have to take care on a daily basis. So beyond the campus environment, what you did, even through by way of NSS, you would have adopted a village, right? Every college, every university, you have to adopt a village. So where you can assign a person over there. You cannot go to, every day you cannot go to your adopted village, which is somewhere across 50 to 60 kilometers. Where you can assign like the local people over there, the student volunteers in those villages. You can ask them, you can guide them, you can go there and guide them how to be done, what to be done, what not to be done. So these are all the beyond the campus environmental promotional activities. So this is something very important part. Even you can do organic farming inside your campus. You can encourage your students to do organic farm. There are a lot of people out there to support us how to do. So the next one is 7.1.7. The institution has disabled friendly, barrier free environment. So here you are supporting the physically challenged people. So what is your policy document? When NACS comes, the peer team visit. Okay, when a peer team visit, they look out for mainly on criterion 7. Because here you are going to take only the snapshot and you are attaching it. But when they come on the day, it's 2 days or 3 days or even a day, they will come and visit your campus. They will go and check your solar system, whether it is active or not. So this is a friendly free environment. Whether you have, see here also where you can see 5 points which has been highlighted. Build environment with ramps, a lift for easy access to classrooms. This is exclusively for like disabled person. Whether do you have a ramp is there, yes or no, lift is there, yes or no. If it is no, please do not take a fake lift or something, because when they come, they will come and check. Disabled friendly washrooms again. Signage including tactile path, lights, display boards, and signposts. I think most of the institution will have this. Assistive technology and facilities for persons with disability. So like there is a software is available. Whether you procure that, if it is yes, you have to support the document by showing the bills. When peer team comes, they will come and check that particular software. So provision for enquiry and information, like like human assistants, readers, scribe. I think this soft copies of reading materials, screen reading, all such things. Whether do you have yes or no? If it is yes, you can mention all 5 is available. If all 5 is available, you have to enclose the supporting document and a proper bills to be attached. So the construction cost, what are the materials that you have procured, what are the materials, softwares that you have procured, that has to be attached along with this 7.1.7. And 7.1.8, that is where I'm telling this 7.1, you have a lot of points in it. Just a minute, yeah. Describe the institutional efforts or initiatives in providing inclusive environment. And this is not quantifiable information. This is a qualitative information where you have to write a descriptive part. Like I have given some of the example over here. If you're done with tree plantation, you can show where you've done your tree plantation and how it got maintained. So eco-friendly usables to society, that e-cups, there is eco plates, cups. So how you are eradicating the plastics. So like swine flu awareness or any health consciousness, like nowadays the pandemic situation is going on, where you can educate the people what to be done when they go out of their home, what precautionary measures to be taken. All such things, where now you have an online portal is there where you can record a video, you can ask the students to do. You can ask the students to take a record, and it can be circulated among the social media where the people get aware on it. So vigilance pledge and street play on sensitizing the above issue. So street play, where you can neighborhood communities, where you go and post that video, so that post that video in the sense the health consciousness videos, what to be done, what not to be done. So you can, even the Indian history and culture, you can bring awareness, what is our culture, what is our history, And as I said, Health Lovers Club, what you are doing with the Health Lovers Club. And you can also go for a rally, but right now it's not possible. A rally can be done. So, so all such things, like where you can take even etc. I have just given etc. Some other part where even you can include all this, and it should be a descriptive part, and you have to attach the supporting document, whatever that you have written, you have to attach the supporting document in it. So 7.1.9. So this is our they talk on constitutional obligation. So I think everyone will be knowing our Indian Constitution Act. So what is our human rights and duties? This is again qualitative. So what is awareness that you're giving to your students and your teaching, and as well as non-teaching, the employees of the institution? What is RTI? They must know what is RTI. Consumer rights, voter awareness, human values and ethics, national identities program, etc. So some of the example where I have given, where you can write even pertaining to Indian Constitution, you can write our Indian political scenario, everything where you can bring an awareness, okay, over here. So all, if you are organizing any programs on human rights, what is RTA, how to file a RTA, most of them doesn't know how to file a RTA. You can teach your faculty, or even you can conduct a workshop, and all such things comes over here. You can mention it over here. You can also attach the supporting documents like your brochures and who is your resource person and geotag photo with your even like recorded video or recorded like your photos can be uploaded. And 7.1.0, this is, as I said previously, it's a code of conduct for the teachers, students, like your top management too. So here they have given 4 options, whether you have to tell them whether do you have all the 4 on your institution. The code of conduct is to be displayed on the website. That is very important. Yes or no? If it is yes, you have to give the link where your code of conduct displayed in your website. There is a committee to monitor the adherence to the code of conduct proceedings on the monitoring committee. So I think in your college calendar, definitely you would have mentioned this code of conduct committee. If not, we need to follow. So code of conduct committee where every year, I think during that induction program, student induction or faculty induction, because this code of conduct is not only for the students. The third point where you can see it's a code of conduct or a professional ethics program for students, teachers, administrators, and other staff. So you should have a proper code of conduct for the teachers too, and all your management people. So like it should be properly displayed, and for the teachers where you can, in your faculty handbook, if you have a faculty handbook, it should be mentioned in the beginning of your handbook, what is the code of conduct for the teachers. I think students, I think in your college calendar or a student handbook, even some of the college, they have a student handbook. In that it will be displayed what is the student code of conduct. So what is your policy document? That is where I just keep on repeatedly telling that manuals. What is your policy document for your code of conduct? So awareness program, as I said, the induction program itself an awareness program. Every year at the beginning, when the student comes from schools to college, like school to campus to corporate, similarly to college transformation, you have to teach them because they will be from different discipline, different schools, different government schools, private schools. So you must teach them what is the code of conduct for a college students. So that is where in this 7.1.1 and 7.1.1. So institution celebrates organized national and international commemorates. So again, it's a calendar committee team, and IQAC have to work on it. Like the National Science Day, which has been displayed over here. The National Science Day celebrated on February 28. So in our college, what we do is we have all the days. National Science Day, what we will do every year, because our college started in the year 2019. So July 2019, we have started SA College of Arts and Science. In the year 2020, February 28 and 29, February, I think in 2020, we have conducted 28 and 29, 2 days international conference commemorating the National Science Day. And similarly, in 2021, on February 28, we have organized our multidisciplinary international conference. This is a multidisciplinary where I have taken, where our management given support to conduct this international conference. So the National Science Day, every year, it is a policy document where it has got displayed in our policy document saying that February 28, no other program, February 28, we have to organize that international conference. It is a responsibility of the IQAC team to organize. So similarly for each and every day, important day like International Accounting Day, World IPR Day, so can you please mute? Yeah. World IPR Day is celebrated, right? IPR, Intellectual Property Rights Day. On the day, you can bring an awareness on IPR. So on what way you are commemorating the day or events or even a festival, like everyone will do the Republic Day, Independence Day celebration in your college, commemorating Republic Day, flag hosting day organized. So like way similar day to be identified, and it can be, say, International Accounting Day can be given for School of Commerce. So the National Science Day can be given for School of Sciences. So in Republic Day, Independence Day, where NCC can take it forward. So similarly for each and every day where you can do only just even a 15 minutes program which can be shown, not for one entire day, it's not required. Like even you can organize one like 15 to 30 minutes for your students commemorating a particular day. So like this, you can organize a program, and this is a qualitative in nature, and this can be written, you have to return and the supporting document where you have to attach. So time is 3:45, I'm on track, okay. So this is all with the 7.1, I think there are around some 11 points, 11 metrics are there, and all are, you don't have a data template is not there. Only thing you have to write, and you have to click on a button, whether do I have all the 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or nil. And moving on to the next practices, you must show your 2 best practices adopted in your institution. I would suggest you can go with an unique best practices. How is it possible? Like every institution will follow the logbook, I think, work diary, that is faculty work diary. On a daily basis, what you're doing, your lesson plan, your attendance, what you handled today, and what is the marks, everything you have in one single logbook. What is beyond your curriculum, what you did. Apart from your curriculum, whatever that you have taught your students, this is generally that you have in the logbook. But what is unique that you have in your logbook, that is what you have to specify. In a corporate terminology, they call it as a name called praxis, Praxis. That is, in corporate, they will have a like praxis exhibition. Every institution with, or every corporate companies, they will showcase their best practices in a common forum, and other institution, they can follow the best practices adopted by other institution. They cannot copy the entire 100%. Praxis is nothing but copying made official. Praxis is nothing but copying made official. Suppose I am following other companies, best practices. I cannot adopt the 100% what they are doing. I can fine tune, I can do the brainstorming session within our IQAC team, within our HOD, head of the department, or a principal or a director. We will do the brain, or even with a faculty member too. Even you can have a student council member where they can also be a participation, because that also brings a weightage for a NAC accreditation process. So they can also give their idea. Students also, they can give their idea. This can be done. So the team will come up with a different perspective. So copying made official, but not the 100% copy to be done. You have to adopt the unique best practices. You can copy the best practices, but what is the changes that you have made in that practices, and which makes you an unique again. So I can take an example. I went to an institution in Bangalore. I remember, I didn't remember the name of the institution, where they follow 5 years. I think in Tamilnadu, I think most of the institution, they are not following 5 years. It is one of the best practices adopted in a manufacturing unit. The manufacturing unit, what they will do, they follow this 5 years. Since I have a time, because I'm just a little bit going in depth on 5 years. 5 years is nothing but sort, stabilize, shine, standardize, and sustain. 5 years is nothing but adopted by the manufacturing unit. It comes from Japan. This is adopted Japanese people in I think it's Toyota manufacturing, car manufacturing industry. It is the first company where they have adopted this quality aspects from Kaizen. I can mention it is a Kaizen, K-A-I-Z-E-N. K-A-I is nothing but process. Z-E-N is nothing but improvement. There is a connectivity with the 5 years and Kaizen too. I think you come across this word Six Sigma. I think management people, MBA or BBA faculty, they come across this TQM, Total Quality Management. I think they will be knowing definitely about this terminology, 5 years. It is nothing but sort, stabilize, shine, standardize, and sustain. Like it's nothing but office management. Like I think I forgot the definition. It's nothing but whatever the document that you want to retrieve it, it can be even retrieved easily by the stranger. And a place for everything and everything in its place. That is what the definition. A place for everything and everything in its place. So how you are going with this 5 years, that is very important. Very few institutions in India, they are following this 5 years. The documentation part, because we do a lot of activities, but there is no proper documentation. That's where the most, that's where most of the institution, they are losing their marks, even though they are very big institution, very good institution. They do a lot of activities. Unfortunately, they don't have that supporting document. They are very poor in the document. So if they are not good in the documentation, they will not score in any of the rating agencies, not only NAC, but also other NRF or other related agencies of the rating agencies. So I would suggest, this is my just 5 years. You can go with the 5 years. There are a lot of things out there. You can go and have a workshop on Six Sigma to your faculty members. Six Sigma, like again, it's a quality initiative, quality aspects. I can, IQAC team, IQAC directors or coordinators, they can organize a program on Six Sigma. Again, it is not a one-day program. It's again, minimum of a week program. There are a lot of quality aspects in it. You can do a lot of wonders. As I said, Kaizen, K-A-I-Z-E-N. Kaizen is nothing but process improvement. What is the improvement that you are doing? Suppose if you have created a logbook in the year 2000, whether are you following the same logbook from 2000? Is there any development? What is the improvement that you did? That is what the case is. What is the process like automation that you have done in your process? When it comes for teaching, learning, evaluation, the ERP plays a very crucial point. Enterprise resource planning. Again, that is also a best practices adopted by most of the institution right now. Again, it's not a unique because when everyone follows, it's not a unique. ERP is nothing but starting from student like inquiry, from the admission inquiry, still he exists. That is an alumni. After placement, alumni, all such things can be connected through ERP. So it's a one single platform. You can take, I want to see a student, those who are studied in 2000. Is it possible? Earlier days, we have to go and take a very big note and we can check, or even in a system, we have to Excel and everything. But right now we have that ERP in us. Enterprise resource planning software is there, where you can easily go and see what is his or her, what he is doing. But it should be live document. Even after a student completed his education, that's where when we talk on student support and progression, alumni support is very important. You should have a connect with the alumni association every year, or you have to do that activity. And alumni departments, each and every department, they can invite an alumni for guest speaker, or they can support on various aspects. So that ERP, it's best practices, but again, it's not a unique. So you have to know, you have to do the root cause analysis, RCA. When it comes for a total quality management, there is a concept called RCA. RCA is nothing but root cause analysis. You have to do the root cause analysis. What I can do different, that's where comes this 5 years. That's where comes this Kaizen projects. I did 3 Kaizen projects in my previous institution. It is nothing but a process improvement. I'm not a technical person. I'm a commerce graduate. I'm a corporate secretaryship person. There is a commerce, where I did a project on an automation in MS Excel. How you are doing like manual intervention. Manual intervention is instead of entering the value manual, you can do an automation where the system itself calculate by using advanced Excel formulas. In Excel, there are a lot of wonders can be done. There an institution IQAC team, like yesterday when I'm interacting with the consultancy project, right? Training. You can give a training on Six Sigma or even a Kaizen. This training can be done only by the expert. Expert in the sense, the black belt certified person. Black belt, green belt, there are yellow belt are there. This all comes under this Kaizen, that Six Sigma part. The person who have got certified in black belt or a green belt or yellow belt, they can give a training for the employees of not only for the teaching fraternity, but also for the non-teaching fraternity, because the accountant is there, accounts manager is there. They can also do wonders in MS Excel, because they are the person, the non-teaching people, they are working on this ERP. Okay, they are connecting all the aspects when it comes for manufacturing. When it comes for a manufacturing unit, where it correlates purchase, production, marketing, HR, finance, research and development, even the IT. So all such things are connected by ERP. So these are the people, like in college, the non-teaching staff also get trained on this process improvement. So you can teach them on Kaizen, you can teach them on Six Sigma, you can teach them on 5S, because 5S documentation done mostly majority 60 to 70% by the non-teaching people. They must know how long because when it comes for ISO, When it comes for an ISO, documentation is very important. Again, one example, if I think I have a time because they want me to take till 4:15. I'm sorry, sir, can I proceed
sir.
or
Yes, sir.
you want to complete?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
please.
I'll.
Yes, please,
Yeah.
sir.
I'm sharing my experience at Ford Motor Company, where ISO, I think most of the education institution, they are not following this. When it comes for an ISO certified institution, you have to give an objective to your employees. You just think yourself whether the IQAC cell or a principal or a management, whether are they giving objective to the out of 100 institution, only 10 or 20 institution they have given an objective to the employees. Why do you want to give an objective to the employees? For performance appraisal. Without knowing the objectives, how do I know my performance appraisal to be filled upon? So every institution, like even though if you are not ISO certified institution, you can fix the objectives. As I said yesterday, it should not be an objective, it is a smart objective. I think one resource person also, he has given a detailed explanation about this SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and targeted. So every employee, even including teaching as well as the not teaching staff, to be given, even a principal should have a objective. You should give, the management should give a objective to the principal, what he or she is supposed to do. So each and every, I can take one simple example, like you can give an objective of, you have to do one project in a year. Either it is like a corporate support project or ICSSR project or UGC project, etc., etc. It is an objective to be given to the higher grade employees. You should not give for assistant professors. You should not have a same objective for each and every grade. You should have a separate grade for professors because their level is different, right? Associate professor should have a different, assistant professor, they should have a different category of objectives. So based on that, again, it has to be decided by the principal IQAC cell. So the objective to be given to the employees, and based on that, the performance appraisal to be carried out. At one fine day, what happens is from IQC team, they send a performance appraisal form. When we look at the performance appraisal form, where they would have given like one research project, 6 seminars and conference to be completed. During at that time, we cannot proceed, right? So at the beginning of the academic year, suppose if your financial, if your academic year starts from June to May, you should give your objective during the month of May, and it should be circulated to all the employees during the June when they enter the campus. And you have to get the attainable target alone. You have to give. You should not give an achievable target. You should not give an unrealistic target to the fresher who get into the college. You should not as I said, based on the cadre. If I am a fresher, just now completed my PhD, I'm just entering the campus. You should not say you have to complete one research project. Slowly you have to, like, each based on the grade. Assistant professor should have a separate objective. Associate professor should have a separate objective. Heads of the departments, responsibility are higher end, like they should have a high responsibility, and their responsibility are higher, so their targets also higher end. So each and every employee should know what is their vision and mission statement. If I ask you what is your vision and mission statement, we have to go to the college website and we can check. And this is not I'm not asking you, this is asked by ISO audit person. When ISO audit person, they will come, most of the ISO audit not happening religiously. They will Whether are they coming or not, I'm not sure. They will simply sign and they will certify. I'm not talking about all the institutions. Certain institutions they are doing like this, but ISO audit, the external person, when they come, they will come and go and ask the teacher, ask the faculty, what is your college vision and mission, and what is your department vision and mission which align with your college vision and mission. Your department vision and mission should align with your college vision and mission. That is where they call it as an one team, one plan, one goal. One team, one plan, and one goal. This is the mantra which followed in one institution. I'm not supposed to mention the name of the institution. One team, one plan, and one goal. You can go and search in the website where you can go and see. So that is the best practices where you can adopt in your institution too. One team, one plan, and one goal. What they are mentioning is individual objective will have an impact on college objective. What is the college objective? They have to obtain A++ grade. Management force the principal, the IQAC directors to get A++. But it all depends upon whom? Depends upon all the faculty members teaching and even with the students as well. Because from top to bottom, it's an entire work where you have to attain. So how your department vision and mission should align with your college vision and mission. So the best practices seems to be very important. I would suggest you can take it up this 5S concept in your institution. Like even a simple, I can take an example of Japanese, what they follow in Japan. When a school student, they get out of from their home to school, they wear a yellow cap on their head. They wear a yellow cap. What they will do when you are standing in a like bus stop or in a train, the people should allow the students to enter first, then the other commuters, they can enter the train or a bus. The first preference will be given to the school students to identify whether are they school going students or not. What they will do, they use a yellow cap for the school students. So this is the best practices adopted by Japanese people. In our Tamilnadu or across India, you know what we are doing. We will rush into the bus stop, we will rush and we will, we will rush and we look out for the space to sit. So that is where I'm trying to say, this is one of the best practices. You can disclose this over here. You can do some sort of best practices inside your institution. You can have we in India are following this practice adopted by the Japanese, like the blind people, like in a railway station where you can see a yellow line over there. How many of you know what is that yellow line? It is kind of a cushion kind of thing. But I'm not very sure in Tamil Nadu, it is not kind of a cushion type. It is only the yellow line. But in a metro station where you can go and see, it is a cushion type of yellow line which will be displayed. And what is that? It is for the blind people where they can identify through by way of that cushion. So this is something where, like best practices where you can adopt in your institution. So I think I'll go to the next, this thing, it's something finally one. Portray the best performance of the institution in one area distinctive to its priority and thrust. And this is something collective from all your criteria 1 till criteria 6. That is, what is your distinctiveness? That's where I just keep on telling uniqueness. You can adopt other colleges' best practices, but you cannot like 100% you should not copy and you cannot place it here. You can do some sort of modification. You can gather the idea. What is the idea that they are doing? You can do also the same part, but in a different perspective. What I'm doing with the environmental consciousness, In Chennai, I can say very few colleges, they are allowing students, they are not allowing the students vehicle or a faculty vehicle inside the campus. Very few institutions. Some of the institutions, they can allow all your vehicles inside. That is not whole good for your environment. That is where the environmental conscious comes into the picture. And research culture, what you are encouraging, excuse me, how the management encourages the faculty members to go for research projects. Are they giving a time frame? Because 18 hours weekly, they don't have a time slot to go for a research project. So you should allow them to do a research project. You can reduce your work burden, and it is management support. Innovative teaching methodologies, what you're doing different on your, and what is the quality initiative that I'm talking right now. I want all the teachers to train on Six Sigma, that TQM, not only commerce and management people, but also for all the group of peoples. You must go for a workshop. You can conduct a workshop on Six Sigma. There are a lot of ideas where you can implement in educational institution. In Chennai, I can take an example of MOP Vaishnav College. I don't know, any of you from MOP right now, they will be knowing. They are following a certain best practices based on this Six Sigma. Once I went for one program where I just visually saw that best practices they are adopting. So that is exemplary well, but not all the institutions. That is one of the example where I can quote only a corporate like a BPO, KPO, IT, ITES, they are following. One simple example I can take, if I want to, in my workstation is nothing but in my place, if I'm having a water bottle in my workplace, I should not keep it here and there. I have to stick on a sticker, like it's a sticker kind of like a water bottle. If I stick on in my workstation, I have to keep my water bottle only in the sticker. That is 5S. That is a standard. If I have a tray on my workstation, I can paste a tray and I can keep it my tray. If I am using a laptop or a system, you can have a laptop posters and you can keep it over there. That is, I can take it as a signboards or something. So that is where the quality aspects comes into the picture. So on all your criteria starting from 1 till 6 or even 7, you can brainstorm with your NAT team, that is IQAC team. You can discuss what is your distinctive, unique distinctiveness. You can this is a descriptive in nature, and these are some of the examples that I have given. Only 5 examples. There are a lot more things out there. You can take anything that even like if I'm if the college is having a very good HR manual, no recommendation. Some of the colleges, they go with the recommendation. And what is the HR recruitment policy? If it is a very strong policy, where you can take that as a distinctive, where we are following a lot of protocols for recruitment process. And even for the syllabus framing, if I am having a very good syllabus framing committee, if it is only for autonomous or universities, not for affiliated colleges, because we don't have a freedom, because IIM comes from affiliated college, where we don't have a freedom to framing the syllabus, but we have a freedom to do value-based courses, certification courses for our students, where we develop our own syllabus and we are following it. So I have given only the 5 points here, comma, etc., starting from criteria 1.1 till this 7, where you can take any of the one best distinctive uniqueness that you can display, portrait over here. And not only one, where you can mention, if I have some 5 distinctive areas, you can mention, but you should have a supporting document on it. So this is what I'm trying to say on this 7th criteria. So I think I have taken too much of time because the time is there. I think the next session is 4:30. It seems. I think if the resource person, if you have any questions, if I know, I will answer because there are some technical aspects in 7th criteria because I'm not that much too tech savvy in that biogas or degradable, non-degradable. But documentation perspective, I'll try to do. So thank you all. Thanks for your time and thanks for patient listening because.
Sir, Ganapati sir. So I have one question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is
Yes,
relating to 7.1.6.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
What is environmental audit?
Yeah, environmental.
One thing.
Yes, sir.
Second thing is, my question is 7.1.2. Solar energy, we have the solar energy in our college. But a bill is in the name of management. So how can we consider it for the college audit, sir?
See, solar energy, how far you are using your alternate resource of, that is electricity, how you are using your minimal usage of your electricity and
That's right, sir. We are using it as an alternative energy, but the bill and other things are in the name of the management. Shall we consider it for the college?
It should be in the name of your college because in the name of the management, it might be a trust. Your trust will have.
Trust only.
No, that is not accepted. It should be in the name of the college because if it is a trust means even I may run an engineering college, I may run a pharmaceutical college. You can show all the 3 bills for all the institution. That is not accepted. It is in the name of your college name, not in the name of the trust.
Okay, sir. So what about 7.1.6, sir? What is environmental audit?
So environmental consciousness, how far, even like your biogas. See, energy audit, green audit is there. Similarly, how clean your environment it is. Okay, how clean it is, whether you have recyclable activities, whether are you doing it or not, and whether do you have a policy for that. So all such things comes over here. Sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am.
Sir, I have a question. Criteria has 7.1.1. Institution celebrates, organize national and international commemorative days, events and festivals. So जैसे लास्ट ईयर से क्या हो रहा है कि पेंडेमिक के वजह से जो भी हो रहा है सब ऑनलाइन हो रहा है, राइट? कोई ऐसा नोटिस वगैरह हम लोग नहीं निकाल रहे हैं.
But you can. I understood to some extent. I'm not very much in Hindi, but I can understand that you have organized a program through online during the last year, right?
Yes, sir. WhatsApp. Yes, sir.
Yeah, even we have organized international conference only through online. You have now this program is going on online, which is got properly recorded, and even it's a live stream which is going on. It seems this itself is a proof, right? You can take one particular day, say World IPR Day. I think it's got celebrated on March 25. It seems. So on that day, you can organize a program on IPR. What is patent right, copyright, or trademark for the outsiders, or even for your students, or even for your teaching fraternity. On that day, just 1 hour program is all sufficient. That's all from my end. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other participants?
Sir, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, I want to know that for all the universities, we have to get the ISO certification, that is quality management system, environmental management system, or any other ISO certification. Is it necessary to get?
See, like I would suggest to go for ISO certification. And one point which I have to insist here is if you work for ISO, and definitely NAC is very easy. And I want even NAC will have, ISO will have lot of templates out there. And you can correlate your ISO template with NAC. And that itself is a very good best practices. You can say your IQAC team, how you are going to correlate your IQ, that your NAC template correlating with ISO. Because ISO will have a separate template, but what you can do is you can modify ISO template with the permission of your ISO agency. NAC will have a specific template. Say for example, you have a lot of things are there like research, like your academic plan, your feedback system. All such things can be correlated, can be implemented in your ISO. So this itself is a good project. Thanks for your question. ISO, if you go with ISO, your NAC is very easy because ISO audit have to be done on a yearly basis, and even that will help us a lot.
Thank you very much, sir.
I think even Madhukar sir, on the day one, Madhukar sir, when he said his ISO certification, it's not a mandatory. That is what his answer. But my suggestion is if you go with ISO, but ISO will have a separate template, but you have to convince your ISO auditor that we are going to bring our NAC accreditation, or not even NAC, if you are going for NIRF, all you can correlate, all the template can be correlated in one single system where you can know, like you can work for one ISO, which will help out for each and every, like NIRF or some other editing agency or NAC agency or AACT or whatever it may be.
Sir, good evening. I have a doubt regarding 7.11.
Thank you very much, sir.
Actually, it is gender equity programs. Regarding gender equity programs. Sir, if it is a exclusive women's college, then what to do with this? Actually, we don't have gender sensitization programs, and also add-on facilities is already there for women students and staff. So in that case, is there any different criteria for this, sir?
No, actually, even if it is a girls' women's college, you can organize this program for sensitizing the outsiders too. Your neighborhood communities, where you can organize a conference, a seminar, or a workshop, or even this. You can ask the students to organize a program for other college students too. And even you have a safety and security, everything you have it in your college. But do you have a counseling centers? If you have a counseling centers, you have to do a counseling for the teachers too, because nowadays most of the teachers are very much stressed with lot of supporting documents. When say for example AQA are to be submitted, everyone will get stressed. Last date is coming, we have to complete, and we at that time only we just go and rush for our work. So you should have a proper stress management program for your teachers and as well as for your students as well, because nowadays the students are very much sensitive in nature. They are taking a very a wrong decision. So you should have a proper counseling center, and trained counselors. That is very important, because MSc psychology, excuse me, MSc psychology, it's not at all sufficient. He or she should be the trained counselors to train the students. Whether am I given you answer, ma'am? Justification, whether am I given a justified answer for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Regarding this alternative energy sources, that all these categories are the college has to spend money for meeting all these requirements.
Yes, obviously, because see, as I said, when the Madhukar sir said on the day one, it's not a teacher's expectation from the teachers or higher end. Similarly, the management have to support it, because this is something how you are inculcating the social responsibility for the students. Similarly, the institution should also have a like the social responsibility towards the environment, towards the society. So they have to do, no other go, because earlier the segregation of garbage in my home, we will not segregate, but nowadays it's an individual responsibility where we are segregating everything. We have 3 to 4 dustbins in our home in different colors. Because the people, when they come and collect the garbage, they will not accept if you not segregate. So now it's a mandatory that a certain residential area, residential flat association, they have started this. Similarly, in educational institution, where we have to teach the students. If you teach the students, definitely they will go to their home and they will segregate all such garbage, and they can also like responsible citizens of India. At least a single, say for example, it's a small job. If we take a very initiate, which brings in a different manner. So that's where I just quoted a Japanese. They do lot of wonders. You can go on Japanese management system. I think management people, they come across Japanese management system. They are very disciplined. Even now only we have started wearing the mask. Earlier, 2 years back, we don't know when you travel in a bike, whether do you wear a mask? No, very rare will wear a mask. Nowadays, every day we wear a mask. Even the situation was going worse, where we have to wear the mask even inside our residence. That is going to be happen right now. So it's an individual and it's a management. They have to go. They have to spend.
Thank you, sir.
One more thing, as ma'am was asking for this alternative energy, there are certain solar energy companies is there who are helping this rural institution in particular. So if you can approach those vendors, probably they'll be helping you out in fixing the solar panels and everything with a free of cost. Even there are VSET solar energies there. There are 1 or 2 companies there. The moment when we approach, we'll be getting with free of cost, we can implement it in the institution as an alternative energy. And
Thank
one
you.
more thing
Thanks
is,
for
sir,
the information, sir. Thank you.
you are talking about this best practices, 5 years and everything you were talking. But what is one of my suggestion is, why can't be this best practices is one side from academics and the other one is from non-academics, because they were asking for 2. So one it is from academics and other one is from non-academics. That would be good. I think so. What about your opinion in this front, sir?
Yes, sir. Your suggestion is very good, because
regarding this, I have one more doubt, whether it
is
is by the students is better or by the staff members or by the management. Which one will be suitable for this?
Which one you are talking about, ma'am?
Best practice.
Yeah, best practice. Yeah, best practices, whether you are giving it for the students, that also can be disclosed. For the faculty members, that can be also disclosed. It is from the IQAC, from the heads of the department, from all the teaching and non-teaching, they can come up with the ideas. Again, I'm just talking about it is only the brainstorming session. You can gather the idea. That's where the here you can see the title of the practice, and here you can see the evidence of success. Again, it is very important. You have to show the success rate, whether what are all the struggles that you have faced while implementing the whether you are implementing your 5 years or something, what are all the struggles that you have faced, and that's where they are asked even the problem encountered and resources required further on. What kind of even when they do at the initial stage itself, you cannot fix the title. Once you do the review of literature, everything, when you started, then only you can fix your title. Similarly, the evidence of success is very important. If it got failure, then you cannot claim for the best practices. So the best practices is for the students as well, no problem. Say in our college, we have proctoring, student proctoring notebook will be there. The mentor will take care of the students starting from first year till the 3rd year, and each and every aspects, what is his mark and everything which got recorded, counseling before the exam, what is the counseling has been done for the students, and what is the problem that the student comes across, what is the feedback of the students, everything which is got recorded in that particular notebook. So this is one of the best practices, and which has a different dimensions on it. I have given only one or two because we have a lot more thing on that particular notebook. So I'm not supposed to share here. So that part itself from the academic perspective. So non-academic as well, sir, when sir is insisting, even you can mention the non-academic, definitely we can do the non-academic, what you are doing, what is the best practices where you can show. And it is for the students, for teachers, or everyone, or even for the outsiders, for the environment, everything, you can disclose it as a best practices.
And most of the institution fail in this best practices, because the terminology itself, best practices, it means that something had to be in practice. But most of the institution, what they'll do is they'll take it as a part of the infrastructure, like a highly built gym, herbal garden, which was installed in the institution. So this is again a part of the infrastructure, not the best practices. So many of the institutions fail in this aspect because confusing with the part of the infrastructure along with this thing.
Yes, sir. Again, it's not a overnight completion. You cannot do it, the best practices overnight. It will take a long time because if I'm going for a NAC for the next 5 years, now itself I have to start. I have to start from my first year, second year, third year, and I have to implement. I have to show the success rate, because when again the NAC peer team, when they come and visit, they will ask all such documents. What is your success? What are the problems that you have encountered? At that time, we have to showcase it. Yeah.
There is one manual is there now, sir, by Madam Stella and Prasad, the NAC manual on best practices. So professors, those who are into IQAC, if they verify or have a read on that particular manual, that will be very helpful for them to move with this best practices part.
Yes, sir. They have given what are all the best practices adopted by other institutions. And under these 6 criteria, this 6 title of the practice, objective, what is the context, the practice, evidence of success, and how the problem encountered and resource record. All such things are over there. Even it is available in the NAC portal. Thanks for it, sir. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, thank
So, according from Pondicherry, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, if you see from the period from March 2020 till December, that pandemic period, so we were not able to conduct any online, any offline activity in the colleges because colleges closed. We could not be able to contact the students. Almost we lost 8 months to conduct any kind of program very actively. Then how can you fill the criteria 1 to 7 regarding the 2021, sir?
Sir, nowadays we have to adopt the change of the situation. Change is the only constant where we have to adopt the situation, because right now I am in my hometown. I am in a very small village, but here the network connectivity is really good. I am in a very small remote village. In my village, we are having a very good internet connectivity. So you should not, I'm sorry, you should not blame that internet connectivity is not good in remote areas. I am right now in my native place, remote area. But actually, I'm working in Chennai. Due to this pandemic, I come to my native place. But here, it is really very good. You should not see, like we have to change to the situation. You have to adopt the situation. And there are certain exceptions where we can get from NAC. If you go for NAC accreditation process, 2019 till 2021, we can convince the NAC people. So these kind of an audit cannot be done, like a green audit or environmental audit. These kind of audit cannot be done during this pandemic situation. I agree, but there are certain parts from that, like program, organizing the program, conducting the international conferences, workshops, or meeting with your faculty members, that can be done through this online. But
so that we have done, sir. That we have done, because the only thing is that regarding the outreach program, taking the people for the villages and those kind of things, we could not do any kind of the outreach program, conducting program via NSS, via Red Ribbon. Only we can teach classes and seminar and workshop. We have conducted those things. We are also doing now also. We are getting very good internet connection. But these outreach programs, ecosystems, and many things we were not totally held up, sir. That is a problem for everyone.
Yes, sir, we can bring an awareness session for the students alone. That's it. We cannot
That we
physically
have done,
present.
sir. That we have done.
Yeah, that is good, sir. We can convince the, while submitting the SSR, you can very well mention that 2019 from till the end of this pandemic, we are not in the campus. So these kind of the activities not carried out physically in the campus, but we have given an awareness program for our students, for the neighborhood community. That can be done, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Sir.
One more thing is, as Dr. Muthu Ganapathy sir was insisting about this extension activity you have mentioned. So recently, our institution, what we did is we just collected some COVID-19 patients and we have an interaction with only through Zoom. So emotional intelligence and resilience. This is what the topic of the program. And we asked the particular people, the participants, the infected people, to understand their emotions and feelings, and what is the best hope that we can give for them. So we have give up the hope, because the personality determinants, again, it is changing. Because immediately when COVID-19, a person is infected with COVID-19, they become hopeless. So what the institution can give? So only we made our students to collect those people, maybe nearby to their home. So we have collected them with the 30 to 50 of participants. We have made this. Last week only we have done this particular part.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your informations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Excellent, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganapathy, sir, for your very informative session, sir. Once again, I thank you, sir. I welcome our staff member, Bindu.
Very informative, sir.
To introduce our valedictory address, Chief Guest, Dr. R. Swaminathan. Please invite you, sir.
Good evening to all. It gives me great pleasure to invite our Chief Guest Dr. R. Swaminathan for the valedictory address. Dr. R. Swaminathan is a correspondent and secretary of Vidyagiri College of Arts and Science, and he is a syndicate member of Allahabad University at Karakudi. He is a well-known educational administrator also. He has 30 years of rich teaching and administrative experience in managing successful educational institutions. He is honored by Tamilnadu government in 2002 as a best teacher. He is a renowned mathematics professor also. He is a panel member of Board of Mathematics of Government of Tamilnadu. A foresighted visionary, he aims at contributing his might in the field of higher education. On behalf of our college and management, we welcome to deliver the valedictory address. Welcome, sir.
Pleasant good evening to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Esteemed secretary and correspondent of this most prestigious college, line Dr. Ratnam, esteemed trustee and director, Mr. Durai, respected principal of this esteemed college, Dr. Bala Guruswamy, respected Markandayan, academic advisor of this college, Dr. Chakravarti and Dr. Nadarajan, vice principals of this college, Dr. Nadarajan, vice principal of this college, program conveners, organizing secretaries, organizing members of this FDP, eminent resource persons, guest speakers, revered dignitaries, and active, very active participants for this national level FDP. Once again, a pleasant good evening to all. Even during this very difficult times for all of us, it still amazes and warms my heart that education and self-development will not be deterred by a pandemic, which itself is a testament of our courage, perseverance, strength, and the will to overcome any obstacle. To that effect, I thank all of you for being a part of this FDP and proving that our collective human spirit will continue to enhance and advance knowledge no matter the circumstances. I've been just watching the interaction between the participants and our resource person. It was very informative. The last 15-20 minutes I feel that I have missed these 4 days.
So voice is missing, sir.
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Oh. Now it's okay?
Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
Yes, okay. Yes, okay.
Yes, sir. It's audible.
So, esteemed secretary and correspondent of the college, Dr. Ratnam, esteemed trustee and director, Mr. Dorai, respected principal of this esteemed college, Dr. Bala Guruswamy, respected Markandayan academic advisor, Dr. Chakravarti, vice principal, Dr. U. Nadrajan, vice principal, the program conveners, organizing secretary, organizing conveners, organizing members of this FDP, guest speakers, eminent resource persons, and those who all have participated, very active participants, dignitaries, a pleasant good evening to all. During this very difficult times for all of us, it still amazes and warms my heart that education and self-development will not be deterred by any pandemic, which itself is a great testament of our courage, perseverance, strength, and the will to overcome any obstacle. To that effect, I thank all of you for being a part of this FDP and proving that our collective human spirit will continue to enhance and advance knowledge no matter the circumstances. At the outset, I wish to congratulate the organizers of the 4 days national level FDP on the revised NAC accredited framework perceptions. I hope the FDP was successful, realized its aim to improve the quality of the institution, scaling up the research skills, teaching aptitude of the faculty members, and for enhancement of their practical knowledge on the NAC assessment and accreditations process by a series of lectures delivered by eminent academicians, eminent speakers might have thrown light on the 7 criteria and qualitative and quantitative metrics of the colleges, affiliated colleges. And you might have discussed much about all the 7 criteria, the curriculum aspects, teaching and learning and evaluation, research and innovations and extensions, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progressions, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. I happened to listen to the last 10 minutes in which Professor Ganapathy was explaining very well about the best practices in the last session. And in fact, I felt that because such a very healthy discussion has been going on, interaction has been going on, and I personally felt that I have missed the 4 days. In fact, I appeal to the organizers to give me recorded lectures of all the eminent speakers so that everyone is a learner. So that is what is very much required nowadays. So you might have got certain ideas about all the parameters, the indicators and the parameters for the NAC accreditation. Each and every faculty of the institution must have to know about the process of the NAC, because it has played a very vital role in the growth of the institution and individual across the nation. When the NAC was established, it was a voluntary process. But today, the Ministry of Education, Government of India has made it mandate for all the higher education institutions. When RUSA 2.0 was launched, they have stated all the states have given a commitment that the higher education institutions will have to go for accreditation by the NAC for all allotments of RUSA funds under various components. This is what the state has committed during RUSA 2.0. Under other ranking frameworks limited to few institutions, NAC is reaching almost all the higher education institutions. In the future, without NAC accreditations, institution cannot exist. That we have to understand. So to get NAC, the objective of the institution should be quality, but not the score. Score will automatically come once we maintain the quality. Once quality is targeted, score will be a byproduct only. I expect the eminent speakers enlightened you on how to prepare ourselves to face the new challenges in the process of the NAC revised framework. In my opinion, the challenges in the revised A&A framework, accreditation and assessment framework, is extensive use of ICT. That is very important. That is a great challenge for us. Institutions need to score at least 25% system generated score. System will generate a score. The institution has to get 25% for pre-qualifying for the peer team visit, and introduce system generated score with combination on online evaluation. That is about 70% for online, and peer judgment only 30%. All might have, our eminent speakers might have elaborated about this. Then DVV, data validation and verification by external agencies, that is third party. Then online student satisfaction survey, SSS, through mail. So earlier the interaction with the students will be done during the online visit. Now it is going to be in the mail. And another challenge is system-enabled selection of the peer team for online site. Earlier, manual selection of the peer team visit. So these are all the great challenges that we have to face, and we have to approach the accreditation process like this. The role of IQAC is very, very vital and important to strengthen the internal quality in both academic and administration aspect in any college or any institution for pushing long-term quality standards. Documentation of each and every activity is a must. Transparency is needed in all the documentation. It should be a documentation we cannot do on a single day. It should be a very continuous process. With respect to the documentation process, and also the parameters of a SOP in order to make the process of DVV and NAC assessment and accreditation time bound and effectiveness is very, very important. Almost all the stakeholders of the higher education institutions must have to go aware of the process for streamlining the function of their respective institutions and implementing these quality parameters. So each and everything quality is very, very important for the NAC. Feedback process of the institution to be collected, analyzed, and action has to be taken. So institution must have to interact with other institution IPAC or NAC coordinators. That is another important factor to understand the mistake happened during their SSR preparation, submission, and how to overcome them with proper measure. This is very, very important that the IPAC coordinator must have to discuss with other institutions IPAC coordinators to understand more about their mistakes that they have done during their SSR submission, which will give they will give a very clear explanation about each and everything. So to conclude, though the assessment and accreditation process, the colleges should do something which make them grow, eligible to receive general development grants and to sustain in the competitive market. Especially educational institutions are facing a lot of challenges during COVID-19. They can overcome all these challenges only by taking measures regarding quality initiative and quality sustenance. I conclude by saying Aristotle quotation that quality is not an act, it is a habit. It should be a habit. And also I wanted to say John Ruskin's quotation, quality is never an accident, it is always the result of intelligent effort. So keeping this in mind, if we work, definitely any institution can march forward to get good score in NAC, and any colleges aspiring for the first attempt has to work more and aim for more score in the very first attempt itself. And our aim should not be very low. If we aspire for B plus, we may get only B. If we aspire for A plus, we can get A. If we are aspiring for A plus plus, we'll get A. So with these few words, I'm very much thankful to the college management for having given me an opportunity to share my ideas with you during this valedictory address. And I hope the participants, a huge number of participants, you can see more than 400 participants are there, might have benefited with that of the deliberations and discussions and guidelines given by eminent speakers. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind valedictory address, sir.
Thank you, sir. Your kindly and very informative valedictory function, sir. Dr. C.H. Anjanelu, Khammam, Kavita Memorial.
I invite Dr. S. Naganandani to do vote of thanks.
Good evening to all. On behalf of our CS department staff members, sincerely thanks to our management for the blessing to organize such wonderful FDP in a very great successful manner. My extend by sincere thanks to respected client Dr. K. Ratinam sir, our secretary, and Engineer Durai Ratinam sir, our director and trustee. A special thanks to our principal Dr. B. Balagurusamy sir, his support for entire program for great success. Here I have to say few words about our principal. He will be the backbone for the entire program. On the first day itself, he guided and motivated in every aspect. The great success and privilege all really goes to our energetic principal, Dr. B. Kalagurusamy sir. Thank you, sir, for your valuable support. I would like to thank Dr. N. Markandayan sir, academic advisor, for giving MRI support to connect this program. I would like to thank Dr. U. Natarajan, Vice Principal sir, giving MRI support to connect this program. I would like to thank Dr. R. Chakravarti, aided Vice Principal sir, for providing support to connect this program. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank Mrs. Shruti Mohan ma'am, Administrative Officer, for providing support to connect the support program, connecting this program. Thank you, ma'am. Our SSP Science Dean Chandramona ma'am, for giving MRI support to connect this program. On behalf of organizer, I sincerely thank our department HOD, Mrs. S. Jayanti, for her entire support for this program. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. In this pandemic situation, the big support for the webinar given by M. Uday Kumar sir, system admin for our college. Thank you, sir. I would like to our guest lecture speaker, day one, Dr. B.S. Madhukar. It provides deep insight into the topic and also related some interesting fact. The point where Dr. B.S. Madhukar told us about the main objective of IKC cell was really informative session, sir. Thank you, sir. I would like to our guest lecture speaker, Dr. Bhakti Payesh Manohar. It provides deep insight into the topic and related some interesting facts. The points where Dr. Bhakti Payesh Manohar told us about the effective documentation for teachers with respect to NAC was really informative session. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our guest lecture speaker, Dr. M. Manoharan. It provides deep insight into the topic and also related some interesting facts. The point where Dr. M. Manoharan sir told us about the criteria one was really informative session. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our guest lecture, Mr. M. Astralakshmi ma'am. It's provided deep insight into the topic and also related some interesting facts. The point where Mr. M. Astralakshmi ma'am told us about the criterion to the teaching, learning, and evaluation perspectives was really informative session. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank our guest lecture speaker, Dr. S. Kanabati sir. It provided deep insight into the topic and also related some interesting facts. The points where Dr. S. Kanabati sir told us about the criterion 3 and criterion 7 was really informative session. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our guest lecturer, Professor Bharat Gandhi, is provided deep insight into the topic and also related some interesting facts. The point where Professor Bharat sir told us about criterion 4 was really informative session. Once again, I will thank you, sir. I would like to thank our guest lecture speaker, Dr. Deepak Nanwar. It provided deep insight into the topic and also related some interesting facts. The points where Dr. Deepak sir told us about the criteria 6 was really informative session. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our guest lecturer, Dr. Syed. It provided deep insight into the topic, also related some interesting facts. The point where Dr. Syed sir told us about the criterion 5 was really informative session. Thank you, sir. Gave us will definitely help in our college. Once again, I would like to thank our chief guest for taking out time from their busy schedule, attending and enlightening us with the knowledge. I would like to thank our GTN faculty members and thank you to all the faculty and present here paying your attention and learning. Thank you to all. State participation. Thank you to all. Once again, I give to thank you to all. Thank you to all GTN faculty members.
Thank you, Dr. S. Naganandani.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for all participants from various states. And thank you for the eminent speakers. And once again, I thank our management and our principal for giving a moral support and invaluable support. He is the backbone for us to conduct this FDP in a great successful manner. I once again thank you, our principal, Dr. Balaguru Swami, sir. Thank you, sir. Kindly, sir, I thank Bharat Kanput, sir. Thank you, sir. Participants, kindly fill the overall feedback form. If anyone interested to give feedback, please unmute your mic and open the video. If you willing, you can give. Otherwise, anyone, please, Dr. Govindraj, sir. Can you please?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
Sir, this is Dr. Aratram,
Yes, sir.
former faculty dean of education, Davangere University.
Yes, sir.
Sir, very good program, sir. It gives me an immense pleasure
Thank you, sir.
for being a participant of this 4 days FDC program organized by your college, Arts College, Dindigul.
Yes, sir.
I congratulate the principal, Sri Dr. Balaguruswamy, Sri Dr. Markandeya, sir, and academic advisor, organizing secretary, Dr. Shekhar, sir, and the computer section, the head and all the staff members with their effort in making it program a grand success, sir. This session, all sessions are meaningful, organized, followed by Dr. Madhukar, Dr. Palade, Dr. Manohar, Dr. Ashtalakshmi, and Dr. S. Ganapati, Dr. Bharat Kungode, Dr. Nannavarai, and the Syed Aziz Wazid. All sessions are highly informative and very highlight on our information, sir. The information shared by the resource persons is very rich, highly informative. The PPT presented by the experienced persons is an asset for all the participants of the FDC program. Once again, I congratulate and thank you all the organizers and organizing committee of this FDP program and the principal Balamurgan sir and the Markandeyan, the academic coordinator. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Anandaram sir. Davankar, I think it is situated in Chikmagalur district.
No, Chitradurga.
Chitradurga. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks. Wind up பண்றீங்களா?
I'm Dr. Pankaja, Principal SMK Fomra College of Arts and Science, and I would like to congratulate all of you, the entire team from the college, because this event cannot happen in a day. It shows the amount of effort all of you have put in over the past few weeks, in spite of the tough times that we are going through, and you have chosen some of the very best speakers. So congratulations, Principal Sir Dr. Balaguruswamy, the entire team, your IQAC Dr. Coordinator, and each one of you, when you were speaking, you were so passionate about what you have been doing in your institution. Otherwise, it will not be reflected in your language. The kind of expressions that you have made, the questions that were being posed by you people towards the resource persons was also very thoughtfully worded, and I should congratulate the entire IQAC team and management also for having chosen such eminent speakers. Each one was a gem, sir. Hats off to you. Very great, and thank you all for the wonderful sessions that we had over the past 4 days. I was wondering 4 days, how will I be able to attend all the 4 days? with 3 speakers on each day. But by God's grace, I was able to somehow manage. I managed to attend all the sessions. And you have chosen some of the very good speakers, each one. And if I go on narrating, it will become another speech. So I think I'll rather cut myself short. So thanks again.
Okay, thank you, madam. The entire credit goes to our alumni, Sam Dhanasehar, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and the Organizing Secretary and his team.
Congrats, sir. That's good. That's a good team effort that is seen here, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, I wanted to say a few words, sir. Hello?
Really, the great success goes to our principal because every moment he watches us and he gives
No problem. No problem. It is my no problem, Sam. It is my bound duty. Give platform to Dr. Muthu Ganapati.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, give platform to Dr. Muthu Ganapati.
Yes, so I wanted to say a few words. I am Dr. N.D. Subramanian from Kanchima Munivar Government Institute of Postgraduate Studies, Pondicherry. And I'm very happy to attend this program all the 4 days. It was very quite interesting and very useful because we are filling up our 2018, 19, 19, 20 AQR forms because it was extended till August. When we fill up those forms, and so many technical terms we are finding some difficulty to understand, especially for the difference between scholarship and then fellowship. So beautifully they explained what is the difference between, we thought that both may be almost same, but they explained what is the difference between scholarship and fellowship, what are the columns should be filled properly. So I hope that this session, 4-day session, will be highly helpful to us to fill up our AQR form very successfully into the NAC format. So you have done a very wonderful mega FDP program because more than 1,000 plus they have attended this. Such a wonderful first one without free of cost. You are not charging not even single money from the participant, but wonderfully done, and you called a lot of good people. They exposed their experience. We also gained, and also the phone number is given, mail ID is given. So definitely appreciate the work done by the GTN Arts and Science Collection. Thank you, sir, from Pondicherry, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have one friend at your institute. Sir, I have one friend at your institute, a man from
Name, please.
History. Just
Reddy.
forget the name. A man. Reddy. Ramachandra
Reddy. He's
Reddy.
our close friend, sir. He's our close friend.
Yeah,
I'll inform to him, sir.
He is our close friend. Okay.
Yes, definitely. I'll inform to him, sir. Right.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
1 minute.
Thanks.
Sir, I want to speak for 1 minute.
Okay, madam.
Sir, good evening.
Okay, madam.
Sir, indeed, the whole program was so well organized, systematic, and all the resource persons were highly informative. Thank you so much. And each and minute, the questions which are posed in the chat box also were answered. So profound big thanks for the whole team, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Sam, wind up pannalam, sir.
Hello.
Sam, close pannalam.
Sir, wind up pannalam, sir.
Pannalam.
What about the certificate, sir? When will you get?
Hello.
Sam, if you have any information related to the certificates, please speak.
Sir, dear all the participants, the certificate will be posted 16/5/2021 through mail, WhatsApp group, Telegram group, and Google Drive. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all participants.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Wind up pannalam, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.